are back. My name is still Dicehart, and I'm still here, joined by Moss for game number one between Buy Gravity Finance and Jacked Martins. Very
You
excited for this first one. Moss, what do you reckon?
look, I honestly couldn't tell you which way this game's going to go. We've seen some good form out of BGF and some of that form coming from Juki in the jungle, but now I see him piloting the X ball in ADC. So it should be pretty interesting seeing him transition to the duo lane, but anyone can left click. Come on.
That's true, but should be an absolutely smashing game, as Juki has so comfortably pointed out for us here. Very, very exciting stuff as we're seeing. Again, a bit of a shake-up here in the ADC builds. The arrow going for first item here for Furin for his starter there. And the death toll here for Juki on the Shibalonke.
Yeah, the mana on the X ball, seeing the Transcendence is not in the meta. I think maybe the Death Soul might be like a necessary pick there.
Absolutely. Interestingly, both of these supports have opted to go towards Benevolence here, so a little bit less tanky in the mid to late game without the upgraded Sentinels. But, you know, Benevolence still really strong, still provides an absolutely fantastic upgrade as well in that heroism. The passive coming out of that as well, so...
You see some interesting starts as well. You see None losing his entire HP to speed.
Wow.
He actually started on speed there.
That's really surprising. It definitely provides a good bit of pressure here for Buy Gravity Finance. Obviously, Nan's going to be able to heal up a little bit with his 1-2 combo there, but yeah, getting poked out this much is very scary. As now he's faced up with House on this Thor as well, and taking so much poke for his trouble. He tried to heal up off that wave. Luckily, the hammer there, not connecting off of House onto Nan, but still terrifying there for the Zhonghui right now.
Yeah, House isn't on the sticks anymore. He's fully on the gear. So you can't be disrespecting him like that. You've got to come into lane with full HP.
Absolutely. Will be a bit of a poke war in mid as House will be poked down a little bit by Cloud T. Nan does cop that hammer though, and we're seeing, I mean, that Zhonghui does heal up a fair bit. Great silence there from Customs though, it's going to prevent the healing, and another wall coming out as well from House is going to lock Cloud T into this one, able to get off the turtle form, might be able to get underneath the tower here, just barely. The hammer not going to connect here from House. Cloud T gets out, but great pressure coming out from Buy Gravity Finance in mid right now.
I know, actually, I've played with House. He's on PC. He still plays with a controller. That just came into my mind.
Does he?
Yep.
Still on the sticks.
Yeah, he's still on the sticks.
And yet, goated on the sticks. So I mean,
he still wants those. He still wants the mechanically like hard gods like Thor. You might think he's a pretty simple god, but there is some pretty detailed mechanics within his kit.
Yeah, being able to hit that double tap on the hammer is super important as well, and being able to time your teleport to a hammer, being able to then hit the Berserker's Barrage off the back of it is really crucial. So, you know, for it to be piloted so well on that controller by House is definitely a big credit to him.
We see the mannequins coming out from Cloud in the jungle.
Interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, look, definitely has. I think that he was potentially hoping to be able to get a very Earth Blood having that there. Might still be able to find it as well on their Erlang Shen. Has a blink available too and a good bit of CC in his kit, so maybe an early rotation potentially towards this duo lane. He's currently on solo side though, might be able to find something over there with this Mannequin Scepter.
Yeah, I think the Mannequins is very nice for clear. Doesn't offer the same HP sustain, obviously, as like a traditional Eye or Dagger would, but I don't mind it. It allows you to be aggressive like he is right now.
He is being very aggressive, tried to steal away that blue buff, unsuccessful though, as House and Moxie able to lock that one down, but we did just see the amount of damage that Cloud was able to put out there onto House when he's able to get into range and really start auto-attacking down there, so I would be very terrified of walking up to this Erlang Shen right now.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that he's putting his pressure towards a solo lane against Tia. Like, Tia has a pretty good time securing his own buffs and like taking the buff away if he's getting invaded, so interesting play from Cloud, but we'll have to see if he keeps doing it or if House dies to his the double buff.
Terrifying. Able to lock down both of those buffs with the tower there, thankfully, but House did get quite low on the Thor. Really needed that level 5, I think.
I don't know if that's worth it. He's splitting it with the tower and not his mid laner. That's kind of rough, I think.
Yeah. Whoop. Alright, Customs did manage to get his red buff there. They were right next to each other, so I was a bit scared. Nan has a little bit of a lead on this Zhonghui over Customs right now. Not too much, especially with both left and right side mid camps having spawned right now. Classy not in the area. And interesting, Azrael has spent a lot of time over in this duo lane. He's still giving a bit more extra pressure over to Furin, now opting to back alongside his ADC. And we've seen a lot of supports doing this, where they stick around duo lane for a little bit longer, maybe try to force that first shield buff, or that second shield buff, sorry, on the respawn, and just get that ADC that tiniest bit further ahead.
Yeah, you're a support player. I'm not.
Mhm.
I think that
Ooh. Ultimate coming out, Dharmic Pillar's doing a lot of work here, and it's completely trapped Nan inside of that ultimate from the Baba Yaga, but here comes Furin dropping in from the Skylar house, very low health. Furin looking for a little bit more. Nan able to pick up the kill, first blood onto
how did
Customs
he
there.
turn that?
No idea, he was trapped
That's
inside of
crazy.
everything. That's crazy. He was trapped inside of Dharmic Pillars. He had the house on one side. He had La House on the other side. That's wild.
Are you more of a The House or a The House fan?
I'm a big The House fan.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Yeah, look, really potent there that Nan's, or really big there that Nan's able to survive. Obviously, the passive from Zhonghui just able to provide him a little bit of extra protections, which go a long way there when he's being engaged on. And I think if you're Nan right now, you've just had a damage check on yourself, and you've gone, yeah, I'm happy that I can take any fight right now.
This is a bit of a risky invade here. We see House sticking around, low HP, but there's 3 enemy teammates on the blue. I don't know how much Moxie can really do here to stop this invade.
Weave and Customs have both made a rotation over to try to stop this one. Cloud T a little bit low health, as Moxie's going to try to chase him down, but Jack Martin doing a great job just completely disrupting this tier from any chase potential. And wow. The ultimate coming out from the King Arthur as well. Moxie forced to feel us away from this one. Cloud T and Azrael still in the area. Good healing coming out from Moxie as well, as he's being chased down towards his tower. Pin coming down as well will completely root him inside of that one, but the ultimate Lawbringer going to get him back under the T1 tower, and that's a huge rotation coming out from Jack Martins towards the right side of the map, but they don't manage to get much out of it, and it means that BGF are just going to keep farming.
Did Tia still get his blue?
I think he did. He's got it on him. And Jack Martin doesn't. He's just got his now, so
that's
yeah.
Value. That's a value for Moxie right there.
Well, I mean, and you mentioned it earlier that it's really hard to invade a tier in his blue buff because of the fact that he can fearless it away to wherever he wants to, and able to secure it down there, despite there being 3 people to steal it.
Going back to what I was saying before about supports, is staying longer getting your ADC pressure, or is it just giving the other ADC pressure because your ADC is going to be behind in farm?
It really depends on the matchup that you've got there at the time. The shield buff, being able to secure down that respawn on the shield buff can make a pretty significant difference. Obviously, you don't want to be taking all of your ADC's farm, and we are seeing that Furin is a little bit behind right now on farm versus Juki. But I think that really crucially there, the fact that we saw Azrael stay for a little bit longer meant that Furin was able to comfortably come back to lane when he did, and then he was able to ult into that fight. So I think it's just facilitating the global ult at that point for Furin.
Fair enough. Whenever I play ADC in casuals, I'm trying to get my support to rotate like level 3.
Oh, look,
so I just want to solo farm.
The amount of, a bit of a fight going on this left side mid camp. Weave already very low on the rotation coming out once more from Furin. Cloud T will be able to pick up Weave here. House, maybe in some trouble as well, as he's going to grab this green buff and try to bring it onto the tower. Cloud T still on the chase, so maybe looking for the kill onto House. Won't be able to find it. That pin going to be off the mark here. That's a big fight there for Jack Martins around that left side mid camp.
Yeah, this Chernobog really showing its value, seeing that there's so much pressure around these mid camps now with the state of the map. If there's a fight breaks out, Cherno just ults over and they have the numbers.
At this point, you almost need to bait out a bit of a fight, force Chernobog ult, and then take the real fight after the fact if you're Biogravity Finance, because right now, he's just providing too much and Juki's not able to provide as much. Yes, his ultimate is going to provide that blind in the middle of the fight from anywhere on the map, but you know, having the extra numbers there, having the auto attacks coming out, is definitely providing a lot of work here off the back of Furin.
Definitely. I think this Erlang pick as well is really going to be good for, especially with that build path going in. Is that a charge bow? Like going into such early priority against this Thor that will take a little bit longer to get online. He more kind of shines in the early to mid, like late early, I suppose.
Yeah, early late game time period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Erlang pick with the pressure from the rotation of the Cherno is sick.
Yeah, it's definitely providing a lot of work, and you're right. That charge bow is just going to provide a little bit of extra there, in that build path for Cloud T. You know, on the other side, you've got Thor building towards this trans, so definitely going for a bit of a slower start, stacking up those stacks on the Transcendence. In saying that, once Thor is online and he's able to start knocking down and finding these targets, we're going to have a completely different game on our hands, I think.
I'm calling it as well. He's going to leave it at T2 charge bow and go straight into Kins.
I'd say so. Yeah. I mean, what difference does Oboe make right now over charge? Well, it's not. I don't think it's massive enough.
Yeah.
When Chins is available and provides so much more right now.
I think you're picking it up in that spot just for a little boost to like to your clear and to your kind of pressure.
Yeah, it pairs well with the Golden Blade as well. It's going to make his clear even faster and let him rotate around the map a little bit faster. Bit of a rotation here from Azrael looking for Juki potentially. I think being spotted out there on that ward, we'll be able to clear that one down. Juki should be aware that Az is here, but he will be stunned out. Forced to use those beads as well. The room won't connect with that CC immunity still available, but that's a big beads down for Juki.
Yeah, I don't think he even needed to give his beads there. Like, he doesn't need to position like that. If he sees the Terror coming, just who cares about ego trading with their ADC? You just walk to your tower, you keep your beads.
Absolutely, and those, the beads are going to make a bit of a difference in this matchup. Furin has a decent chunk of CC, and if Cloud Team makes a rotation, or even if Azza comes back there, this Shibalonka could be in a lot of trouble. Speaking of which, though, hammer down for the house. Cloud T did blink on him there, and he's going to force the ult out as well. Ult trade there for the junglers, but Bees being down for house is definitely a little bit terrifying for this Thor right now, while he's still just trying to build stacks and get to the point that he wants to be able to be aggressive.
Yeah, it's kind of rough early on Thor trying to get impact if you're playing against such an early dominant character.
Ooh, the 1v1 between Cloud T and Juki will fire off that ultimate. No ult available for Cloud T, so no healing to come out here. Azrael's made a rotation over as well, and Furin is going to drop that ult, and that's what I meant about baiting these fights out. Furin no longer has that ultimate available. Cloud T couldn't pick up the kill, but it's going to be a Gold Fury started up here by Jack Martins. In the area is Weave, has his ultimate available. Diamond Pillars can do a lot of damage to a big objective like this, and it might be hard to out-secure this one. By Finance on the rotation as well. We can see that Customs is in the area, has that house, and is going to fire it off straight away, but Jack Martin's smart. Get off the objective, waste out a big ultimate from By Gravity Finance there.
Yeah, very well played. I don't know if that was always their plan, but I think it's pretty risky to try and secure into Baba Ganesh.
Yeah, I like that play there. A bit of a, not necessarily a damage check, but a numbers check. Who's going to rock up to this? What are they going to do? They see Customs already in the house when he walks around that corner, so they walk away from that Gold Fury, and if Customs hadn't walked up there, they probably do just secure it down. So well played there by the Jack Martins.
Yeah, you could argue that it's a wasted house, but at the same time, if he didn't use it, I don't know if they would have backed off that gold.
Speaking of Jack Martin himself going to fire off that ultimate onto the tier. Cloud T's made a rotation, but a huge double fearless there. He's going to create Moxie, a little bit of extra space. Cloud T still on the chase, looking for a few more auto attacks, and the ultimate is going to come out as well from this Erlang Shan. A little bit more damage will do it, but there's a Lawbringer against Moxie back onto his T1 tower. The pin, though, is very strong. Jack Martin is going to go dive into this one, but the fearless, so potent. Moxie survives the dive there. Jack Martin not able to find that kill, nearly dies himself to the tower shot. As we're seeing a huge rotation on the other side of the map for By Gravity Finance. Diamond Pillars were dropped their house in the area. This might be a Gold Fury pull here as Nana's made a rotation in on the Zhonghui, but he's surrounded by so many members of By Gravity Finance. Up into the air goes the Thor, and the Shibalonka has been popped at the same time. They're blind, but the beat's been popped by Nana, and he's inside of so many members of By Gravity Finance. He's also been popped. Azrael trying to provide a little bit of work with his own ult. Not a lot of damage coming out from the Zhonghui right now, as the house has come out from Customs. Rotation there from Furin, but Juki picks up Nana, and the chase is still on from Customs here. Low health, and the ultimate is down now. Jack Martin himself has come over to this fight, but it's a little bit too little too late. As the fight goes away by Gravity Finance, and they still have an angle here for the Gold Fury if they want it.
Yeah, I don't know where the comms are from Martins, but if you've got X-Ball diving your backline, I feel like he should be getting punished. Like, he walked straight into the back
this
there.
beacon here. Jack Martin able to completely zone everybody off of that beacon, but Furin, he ulted in, and now he's in trouble. Aegis down as he was pushed onto the tower there by the tier. Moxie providing so much work here. Ults in and finds Furin. Huge stun out of the tier there. And now the Jack Martins have a little bit of pressure on this beacon, but not for much longer. Moxie doing his best to stop this one from going through. Azrael trying to root him down here. Maybe has a stun available. No escape available for Moxie right now on this tier. Doesn't have his ultimate now, so the beacon likely to go in favor of Jack Martins, but the fight definitely won the way of By Gravity Finance.
Definitely, Moxie's performing super well. I felt like he's holding these ults too long in lane, but he's still getting super close to getting, like that last one. He probably should have died when he got dove in lane by Beto, but yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah, finding a lot of value out of this tier right now, just surviving on low HPs. And you're right, he ripped that ult at the perfect time there and managed to pick up the kill onto Furin. So fantastically played there. Once this tier is able to get out into the team fights, Moxie's providing a lot of work, and in fact now has a lead over Jack Martin right now.
All this priority from Martins towards solo lane invades and solo lane rotations has ended up with their solo laner being a level, like, or maybe not a full level, but
Maybe about a half
some
level.
some XP down, which is credits to Moxie.
Ultimate coming out from Jack Martin onto Moxie there, doesn't have a T1 table tower to escape to. Pin going to be off the mark there from Class A, but he's still on the chase. Ming Form doing a lot of work here. Jack Martin trying to find that cripple, won't be able to connect, or is able to connect, but won't be able to stop Moxie from finding a way out of this one. The Fearless should be available, double Fearless into the wall on Thor, up into the air right now. He is able to dunk on, but the Moxie ultimate is still beat out there by Cloud T. Moxie will just fall here to Jack Martin, but the rotation coming out from the mid laner as well, as we're going to see Customs rip through the damage with the house here, looking for Jack Martin. They might not be able to find it, the dummy pillars have landed down, and Jack Martin still has escape potential. Now going to turn and look for Moxie here. The Sunder has come down as well as the Jaeger's forced out of Custom, sorry. Very low health now as the ultimate being ripped out by none. And we're seeing the souls completely rip through Custom's health bar. We've trapped inside those walls, and the fight this time goes in favor of Jack Martin's.
Yeah, Custom's really feeling himself there, getting real deep in that fight, trying to kill the King Arthur, but I feel like he gets that deep and then goes, and then he just dies.
Yeah. Maybe some odd target selection there from Biogravity Finance. It felt like they had the rotation potential. They had great dunks out of both House and Moxie, and then Customs had a great opportunity to target somebody, but unfortunately he selected the King Arthur, a very hard god to kill at this point in the game.
Yeah, I love the commit from Moxie there, not to back out of that 2v1 because he knew House was coming. It shows that he has trust in and faith in his jungler. So that's, although the result wasn't what they wanted, I like to see that from the duo out of the solo and the jungle.
Yeah, you have to expect that that's, great communication coming out between your solo jungle there, which you really, really need in a game like this, and it could have led to some great potential there for Biogravity Finance. Clouty did manage to get his beads off at a great time, where he immuned the CC from both Tyrol and Thorol, which is fantastic for him. But yeah, really, really well played team fight, I think, there from both teams. We're seeing now, as we are paused for a second here, Jack Martin's grouped around this Gold Fury. They have started it up. House, though, doesn't have his ultimate available. I think this one has been spotted out by Gravity Finance, so must.
Yeah, I don't know if they're in range really to contest it, seeing the Thor doesn't have ult. That's probably their best engage on the contest. Bubba's pretty far away. Ganesh is going to take a while to get there, so I don't know if they can really answer this one. Jack Martin's already there, rotated and zoning, so it's going to be pretty tough for BGF to try and nab this gold away. Also, I think that we've seen so much dive coming out from the BGF side onto the Nan, but that's kind of where he wants them as the Zhong. He wants people in his face so he can just pop his ult and pop off, as we've seen in these fights so far. So it's tricky for BGF. They might need to get a few more of his cooldowns before they can really commit him.
Yeah, not too high on the player damage charts just yet is the Zhong Kuai. Where is he? Yeah, about the 7k mark as the unpause will come through here around this Gold Fury fight that has been started up by Jack Martin's. Biogravity Finance, you're absolutely right, just weren't in position to stop this one from going down. Jack Barnes are going to lock in that Gold Fury. It's a rotation from BGF over towards this Pyromancer, though very early Dharmic Pillars to try to lock in a bit more damage, but Jack Martin is on his way and is going to be into the backline here. Great stun though coming out from House. Clouty has rotated in. Blink, Ultimate. Jack Martin's steal away this Pyromancer in the fight. He's going to go deep into the backline here as the ultimate coming out from Azrael as well. Moxie is able to find his way into the Jack Martin's backline, provide some disrupt. The Pyro and the Gold Fury went in favor of Jack Martin's, but at least the kills did not go for them there. That could have been very rough for BGF.
Yeah, I like Bubba hopping into the house there just to kind of dissuade them from continuing the dive, so nothing too much comes from that. Unfortunately, they dropped the objective, so that's a double objective play for Jacked. And all the meanwhile, Fearon's in his lane, getting good damage onto this tower, so it's a good map play from the Jack Martins.
Absolutely, this tower now very low health at T2 and left. And it just means that, Fearon has more and more rotation capacity now on this Chernobog. He could just walk out of lane, go towards mid, and if he needs to ult to one side of the map or the other, he can. So really good map play right there by the Jack Martins, and great awareness. We saw Jack Martin himself, the king, make a huge rotation. He spotted out, or he knew that the BGF boys were going to give up that Cold Fury for Pyromancer. He was there first, created enough space for Clouty to blink in, and they were able to take away that Pyromancer.
Look, the real question, where's his feet? Where have they gone?
Where have Jack Martin's feet gone? We may never know. Surely
Sometimes it looks like he might be playing with them, but today he's definitely got the fingers on the keyboard.
He definitely is using his fingers on this keyboard. No feet in use here for Jack Martin. Maybe they're busy on OnlyFans. Who's to say?
Ooh, I'd subscribe.
I would as well. As we go into a bit of an even map state here. Obviously, T1 Towers down in this duo lane for both sides. 5k gold in the lead, though, are the Jacked Martins. How do you think Moss BGF get back into this game from here?
Honestly, I think they just need I know it's kind of stereotype to say, but like they just need one good team fight. They've been getting good value from Moxie in his rotations. Thoralt can change a team fight so easily. So I think if they just get one good team fight, maybe burn some relics from the mid or like possibly bait out a Terra ult, they can find a good team fight, and that's all they need to really get back in.
Yeah, 100%. You know, House has finished stacking up this trans. He's got Brawler's Beat Stick online, and is starting up another pen item as well. On the other side, we did see the Oboe finish there by Cloud T, and is actually going towards, and has finished his chins there as well. So, bit of attack speed there, and a lot of 1v1 potential coming out for this Erlang Gem right now.
Yeah, a strange ult from the Chenobug there. Maybe vision for this. I've forgotten the name of it.
For the beacon?
Beacon. Yeah, maybe it could be some vision early for the beacon, but I would argue that's probably a wasted ult. That would be really nice to have the slow for this fight that's coming up right now.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw that the last bit of contest around this beacon went in favor of Jack Martins, or they were able to secure the beacon because Furum was able to ult over to this side. He has managed to walk up the lane regardless, so he's in the area, but you're right, having that ultimate down right now and that element of surprise being gone can make a bit of a difference. Jack Martins definitely have the better grouping though on this beacon, and I don't think the By Gravity Finance are going to contest it at all. Looks like they want to give this one up.
Yeah, I possibly, if a team's not contesting that, I wouldn't mind of seeing like maybe the Thor going right and pressuring that tower with Tia, but well, some teams might not have played as much on this patch, might not be that forward thinking. Oh, it's way easier to think from this perspective looking at the game. But yeah, maybe some possible like opposite map pressure could have been nice there.
Jack Martins, though, they want to stay grouped here. They grouped up for that beacon. They then took down the mid T1 tower, and they're grouping now towards this Gold Fury. And it looks like By Gravity Finance again are going to opt to give this one out. Juki is in the area, but Jack Martin, intelligent, has located him there, throws out that Sunder as well, and is just going to completely zone Juki out of this one. Another objective going to go in the favor of Jack Martins. And again, Pyromancer started up here by the By Gravity Finance boys. Jack Martin making a bit of a rotation over. He might get here again in time as the Dharmic Pillars have been dropped. Good bit of CC though coming out prevents Jack Martin from getting in time as BGF are going to secure down that Pyromancer. The house again dropped here by Customs just to find his way out of this one, but Cloud C diving deep forces B's out of Customs there with his ultimate. The auto attack coming out as well, going to force the Jaegers down, and the ultimate coming out from Nan and from Asriel is ripping damage in. Customs does fall in the meantime. Up in the areas, Le House looking for some backliners, and he will dunk in hard. Not able to find too much damage there, but is able to get Moxie out of trouble. Weave could be in a bit of trouble as Jack Martin has found him. Dash under the tower. Is it enough as Pin comes out? None able to find that one as well. Huge damage coming out from this Zhonghui. This could be a fire giant angle for Jack Martins right now. Maybe not with these health bars and the split push coming out from Juki in mid though.
Classic Juki move. He loves a good split push. It's a good play. I personally get tilted by split pushes. I think
As do I.
I think they're rats, but it's a good map right there. It could have been nice for him to actually participate, but some people prefer the left clicks on the stationary targets.
It is what it is, I guess. I mean, Juki's build pathing here. He's going towards crit by the looks of it. So being able to split push and get a little bit of extra farm for himself, a bit of selfish farm.
House could do this.
Oh, very close. House nearly stealing away that fire giant, but it will go in favor of Jack Martins. First one of the game, 21 minutes into this one. Game number one between Jack Martins and BGF. About a 7k lead here for Jack Martins, but I mean BGF they're certainly not out of this game just yet.
Yeah, and Juki is very nicely farmed here. He's level 20, ahead of his lane counterpart when there's so much kind of map pressure going towards the Jack Martin. So it's actually nice to see Juki prioritizing this farm and just saying, guys, I'm a hunter, leave me in my lane, I'm gonna farm, then I'll just unce everybody when I come to the fight. So just don't lose the game before then, I guess.
Yeah,
hopefully it works out.
As long as the rest of By Gravity Finance don't let the bleeding go on for too long or too, across too much of the map, then you're right, the Juki is going to be able to come into this fight with a huge power build, a little bit of crit as well. Both hunters actually building into some crit now. Yeah, so as long as things don't get too bad here, then Juki could be the huge difference maker here.
Yeah, it's a bit worrying for La House though. He's only level 16 still, same level as his own support, which is not a bad place for a support to be. But as a jungler, a Thor, someone who has that big team fight ability and is like often such a big part of a team's engage, him being such a low level is really worrying. I don't know if he'll be able to have as much impact as he wants.
Well, we've just seen the impact of that level differential as well as, unfortunately, the house was forced to ult away there after having been engaged on by the Jack Martins. Good silence there coming out from Weave, but Moxie's still forced to ult underneath his Phoenix. Jack Martins have now taken the T2 in left and mid, and they're trying to force mid Phoenix as well. Looking to drop this one down. Shibboleth AL popped, and Dharmic Pillars are going to drop down as well. Mid Phoenix Siege is successful. Jack Martins have picked that one up in Cloud T. Diving deep, looking for Juki here. A lot of ultimates down as Jack Martin is in the middle of 4. Great 3-man stun coming out, but Moxie going to be able to pick up Jack Martin there, and the chase is on. Knock up there from Weave. The ultimate going to come out from the Jonko, but it might not be enough. It's a huge heal coming out from Nam. He's still not going to save him. The ultimate doing a lot of work. He's still alive, but Juki able to pick up the kill. That was so close. House stunned out here. Lost his Aegis. Mid-Phoenix trade for 2 members of Jack Martins. Is it worth it, Most?
I don't know. I feel like if they reset quickly, come back, Oni's coming up, it could be there could be some potential to make a really nice kind of power play off the Phoenix loss, but you still have to worry about this wave pushing down mid. There's a few options to go for BGF right now. I think Oni is probably the best play. It can stem the bleeding in mid. Then look towards getting some good ward coverage around fire, perhaps. Yeah, I like the play from Weave there. He is confident in his backline even before they've killed the. I think it was the King Arthur that was diving the backline. He was already changing targets to the Zhonghui, using his 3, knocking them up.
Yeah,
I like that play.
I have to agree with you there. If that Zhonghui had been allowed to pop his ultimate and throw his abilities out when he wanted to, we saw he nearly got a kill despite being surrounded by 4 people when he ulted late. If he'd been able to throw that out earlier, if Weave hadn't been able to target him down there, that fight could have gone very differently. So you're right, well played by Weave, and by Gravity Finance will secure down that Gold Fury as well. So as you mentioned, stemming some of that bleeding, and an only Fury can make a bit of a difference here with Fireways pushing down mid.
Yeah, I think it's easy to look over some of those kind of more detailed support plays like that, but I think I myself play with someone who I think makes lots of really skilled small support plays that add up, like Invictus. He's cracked with Peel. And I think a player like Weave also just makes these little plays that show real good knowledge of what they want to do. And like, yeah, I think it's really easy to see that Weave has a very clear plan.
And definitely has the trust in his team as well to be able to follow up on it. Pyromancer though, is going to go in favor of Jack Martins there, so a bomb available for Azrael right now. Could be used on this Fire Giant, could be used to push down a Phoenix very shortly. Fire still on 3 members though of the Jack Martins, trying to potentially find something in the jungle here. But Stygian Beacon is currently up right now. And this is the one that will push Titans, but neither team is in the area for it right now.
Yeah, and we see these team fights now. Cloud has his Mannequin's mace. He's going to be burning. He's got the Frostbound also. I think he's going to have real good lockdown if he finds someone.
Big dive near the right side. Phoenix House able to drop down the ultimate, looking for Furin here as the ultimate drop there by Azrael, trying to heal him up, but it's not going to be enough. Furin picked off. Cloud able to pick up Juki. Azrael so low health, being chased down by a very low health Thor himself. Nan's made a rotation over and a great stun there by Jack Martin. Will be able to lock down House and save Azrael. 2-for-1 trade there for the Jack Martins. Just as Fire Giants on the respawn as well. That's massive.
Yeah, massive impact from House. I was saying that he might be too low of a level, but he still goes in there and just takes out Fear and no sweat, gets out. Unfortunately, zones himself his own wall, but we've all been there.
We have all been there, and, you know, being able to have that impact on a Thor, you know, Thor, it doesn't necessarily matter if he falls a little bit far behind. He's still got the tools that he will always have. He's still got that ultimate, which provides a massive circle stun from, you know, potentially hiding somewhere in the jungle. And we saw that House is able to provide that here. Now though, Jack Martins have walked their way over towards the Stygian Beacon to try to prevent BGF from locking this one down. Bit of brawling as Jack Martin's going to zone them away completely, throw out his ultimate onto Moxie as well, just to show who has the biggest sword currently. And the Stygian Beacon will be locked down there by Jack Martins. Jesus, he's not done, he's still chasing!
Yeah, we see this, then the Ganesh build as well, that new Relic Dagger. Is that the attack speed? That's the like Witchblade one, right? The other one is the Relic one.
That is the, yes, reduces the attack speed.
That's awesome for the Erlang. really negates a lot of his dive potential if the support's like sticking to their backline.
Yeah, I really like the new relic taggers actually, and I definitely think that, you know, I quite like the other one being able to get a bit of extra protection as Jack Martin in an awful position right now, silenced out and picked off there by Juki. Really well played by Weave.
That's jacked. That's jacked right
That's some jacked Martining right there. As now Moxie is going to take the forward line here, looking for anybody. Nan walking up to Juki, but he's got a house on top of him, has to drop his own ultimate, but not going to be able to do a lot into this team right now. And La House has dove in, found the dunk. Customs able to pick up Nan now. As Real, the target of the aggression will fall. Moxie doing a great job zoning out there too. BGF have suddenly turned this fight around and they're picking up the Fire Giant.
What happened? Like, literally, apparently one Phoenix down is just like okay, we win now. Like, every fight since they've got that siege has just been very heavily in the favor of the BGF.
Not over. Yeah, that was Juki being targeted down. Moxie did do a lot to zone Furin. Low health, Cloudty, not very healthy. Will blink in, looking for Juki. The 1v1 going on as the Fire Giant is still going down. Silence coming out. Jack Martin steal away the Fire Giant. Customs picks up one house, picks up the other. It's Fire Giant for Jack Martins, but not a single member of them will have it. Still a good play though, because they would have lost it otherwise.
No, that's poor from Customs. He has a full HP bar. He goes to try and kill the enemy instead of just... He got out-secured by an auto there on Bubba. Like, I feel like you're just sticking that objective and securing it. That's your only job. You have the best secure.
Absolutely. A Baba Yaga, you know, with several, you know, multiple pots potentially and several other abilities should be able to lock in that Fire Giant and prevent a Cloudty or a Furin from stealing that one away with auto attacks.
I think it was Furin.
Good chance, because Cloudty was quite busy regardless, trying to knock Juki off the map. Very unfortunate there for Bi-Gravity Finance. It does stem the bleeding a little bit, as we, you know, pointed out, or as you pointed out, there was a massive fight there for them ahead of that one. Being able to pick off Jack Martin ahead of that fight before the Fire Giant was even an option, and then finding Nan, great dunk from House. So still huge signs of life despite a 9k lead from Jack Martins right now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it though. It feels like BGF are just as in this game as Jacked are.
Absolutely.
These fights have been going in their favor.
We are.
Like,
yeah, I mean, we're starting to get to the point now where the vast majority of players are level 20, builds are starting to fill out. Asriel, despite being on the team that's quite far ahead, is still level 17, so needs a bit more farm on this Terror right now. Obviously,
we see the Terror prioritizing the cloak as well.
Huge fight over this Pyromancer as a Diamond Killer drop. Juki picks up one Customs with a double kill, and this fight absolutely massively in favor of Bi-Gravity Finance, I believe. I don't know who got that Pyromancer itself, but the fight going this heavily in favor of BGF. They're going to try to push down mid now. In the meantime, two members, Cloudty and Furin of the Jack Martins, are going to be on the left side. Maybe the two of them being here will be enough to distract this mid push out of BGF if they're able to take this Phoenix, but Moxie has made his return. Cloudty is going to have to back here to prevent this mid Phoenix from dropping, but I don't think that he by himself can prevent this from happening. Juki and House provide too much damage. Furin is going to ult in here, looking to defend this mid Phoenix. Great stun though coming out from House. A great ultimate though from Cloudty, just trying to group up as many members as possible with a huge taunt. Furin though is going to fall. Mid Phoenix shall not last much longer as Juki's auto attacks are too much, and BGF now have a commanding position in this game. They've dropped the lead from 9k down to 4k, have switched it up, taken mid Phoenix after they had lost their one, and now they're starting up this Gold Fury.
Let's go. I like to see that. I don't know if Furin would always have planned to ult back to mid there, but Moxie stopped his back, and I feel like gave him the only option of ulting back towards his team. Otherwise, he just chased out infinitely right here. So yeah, that's good for Moxie to just force Furin to kind of brute force the mid defense, which ultimately cost him his relics and his life and the Phoenix. So yeah, that's a very nice play from BGF.
I have to agree with you there, as now the Gold Fury goes in favor of Bi-Gravity Finance, and they are clawing back this game. They do not want to lose game number one between these two teams, and BGF are really showing what they're made of right now. They will not give up against the Jack Martins, and you're right that it was a really good play just across the map there from Bi-Gravity Finance. Moxie doing a great job preventing Furin's back, forcing him to ult. And I'm very excited to see what happens in this next fight, because BGF are really showing that they are willing and able to team fight right now.
Yeah. Is that Expo build good? Or is it just Juki cooking? I think he'll slap real hard, but I think, don't you want Deathbringer if you're building crit? Like, regardless.
Look, Juki is cooking. I can say that happily. I've definitely not seen a Shibbolonke build like that, or many Hunter builds going in quite that direction of recent, but I mean, it's working. Juki is top player damage right now, 6k over Jack Martin at the moment. So I'm
It's
gonna let
too
the man
easy
cook.
for him. It's too
It's
easy
too
for him.
easy. You're right.
I'd like to
Well,
see the 32 minutes spectral coming out. That's really nice there.
yeah, Jack Martin does have that spectral locked in. Is it going to be enough to prevent everything that Juki's putting out? It is just a rage, in fairness, so it doesn't have a Deathbringer available. Um,
Yeah, and Juki having a very nice performance. We've only really seen him playing jungle for this team, and just seems like he's effortlessly transitioning to a different role, which is very nice.
Absolutely, as House going to go straight up into the air here, looking for a backline. It might even be able to find Cloud out of position here. He's going to dunk onto Jack Martin there, has Weave around to knock up as well. The silence coming out is just going to prevent Jack Martin from getting anywhere. Custom's going to be credited with that kill. The Diamond Pillars are down, and the ultimate damage coming out. None, though, deep in the backline. Cloud has managed to find Moxie in his own backline. None, just trying to find damage, but he's surrounded by so many people. Great stun there coming out from Azrael. None, able just barely to survive out of that one. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Furin is going to ult back in. He might be out of position here as the silence is going to immediately come out from Weave, and then knock-up is there, Beads and Aegis, or Aegis at the very least forced out of Furin. They're trying to take the 1v1 now as Weave. The support needs to get out of here because the crits are doing so much work. None chased down by Juki here. What is he doing there? He will fall. None goes down. What happened? Blink out now from Cloud T looking for Juki. Beads are going to be forced out. Or the no, that was
him.
Nash.
I don't know if anyone can even box Juki.
Furin's going to try to with the help from Azrael, and Furin succeeds with boxing against Juki there. Knocks him off the map. This game has become absolutely wild. I don't know what's happening anymore.
It's sick. Moxie doing a really good job of like, it's quite fun on tier, honestly, to just run at backliners. But he did die, unfortunately. If he didn't die there, I think that fight would have been 100% in BGF's favor. But Furin managed to kill Moxie, reset, ult back in, and yeah, the fight flipped a little. Yeah, these fights are just end to end, like everybody showing a good performance.
Yeah, I like what BGF are doing now as well. They're making excellent target selection calls. They decided that they wanted to take Jack Martin off the map there. They know that he doesn't have a Magi's, he doesn't have a Beads, so he doesn't have a way to get away from Weave when the silence comes down and the knock-up comes down. So House dunked on him. Weave followed up with everything in his kit to prevent Jack Martin from moving, and that gave Juki more than enough time to kill him. Alongside Customs there as well, actually dropping his ultimate. And now that, you know, once Jack Martin is out of the fight, nobody is able to zone away and prevent these backliners from starting to step up. And we saw the work that Juki was able to do chasing Nine deep into the jungle there. This time, though, the Fire Giant potentially going to be started up a good bit of pressure here by Jack Martin, but Fearless coming out onto Cloud T is going to walk him away from that one, and Weave again, a fantastic silence coming out from the Ganesh there just to prevent any extra pressure coming out of Jack Martin's.
Yeah, would you have preferred to see a Beads pick up for the King Arthur instead of the Sunder?
Magi's for sure.
Is the Sunder still good, do you think?
I like the Sunder, although it's not making any difference here as Jack Martin has been blown up again. House picks up a double kill. The Diamond Pillar's doing so much work. Customs picks up another one. Cloud T left alone. His team have fallen, and By Gravity Finance are going to get this Fire Giant. They might even run down mid and look for the end.
Insane. I feel like the Cloud isn't having as much of an impact as you'd like to. Like, building hybrid on a pick like Erlang, more priority towards damage. He's too squishy. Like, he can't get in there. I feel like perhaps if he'd opted for like a almost full tank route, the team would be having way more luck on the engage. But yeah, Cloud seems to just be skirting around the side of these fights and not finding as much as he'd like to.
It is going to be Bio Gravity Finance walking into this Titan room right now. Cloud T will blink in, look for the ultimate, but not able to find a lot of damage here. The Titan falling ever lower, and it will fall here. Bio Gravity Finance will take game number 1 over Jack Martins in this set.
Look at that.
Wow.
They had their lead, but I don't know. They managed to...
complete flip of the script there. 9k lead Jack Martins had.
Yeah. And some of the players weren't having some of the best decision making towards the start of the game. Like, that we saw some kind of lapse in judgment from the Baba, and like, but turning around, I didn't see too much of that. Pumping out decent numbers, second highest damage in the game, and then the Xbalanque just consistently pumping damage, only getting stronger throughout the game. So I mean, maybe all the farming was worth it for Juki.
It really seemed to have paid off, and the absolutely wild build that the Xbalanque ran with there, just, you know, having the rage and then the extra bit of penetration, it seems to have paid off. Let Juki cook.
Let him cook. Wait, wasn't that a team?
Yeah, that was a team with someone on it, I swear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Tell me what you think most about the Frostbound hammer on the Erlang Shen, though.
Look, I see the thought behind it, but uh, yeah, I would have preferred to just see like a, I don't know, just a full defense item or something. I'm not sure how much power it gives now since all the items were changed, but
Mm.
as someone who's going to try and kill the enemy, like you'd want a bit more power, I'd assume, or
Yeah.
a full defense item in its place.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. They're very hard for that Erlang Shen to be able to find sort of exactly what he needs, you know, to be able to get into that backline and pick off those carries that were just doing so much work there for Biogravity Finance. But that's going to be game number one in their favor. Jack Martins have the flip script on them. I think we'll take a very short break before we go into game number two here. So we'll be right back with you shortly for Biogravity Finance versus Jack Martins, game number two. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is still Dicehart. I'm still joined here by Most, as we've just seen Jack Martins versus Gravity Finance game number one. Very exciting set, that one. Well, this one has been so far.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the way that BGF managed to come back from what seemed like a pretty dire situation there and pull together literally as a team and team played so well and got back into that game.
Absolutely, a huge turnaround there for Gravity Finance. We will jump straight into picks and bans here for game number two. See how they're going to shake it up. I'm very keen to see what this one's going to look like after such a close game number one. This time, Jack Martin's in the first pick slot, and I believe they've now got Angel back into support here, and their main roster sub. So very excited to see if there's any shake up there and a bit of a synergy change for him.
Yeah, I don't think Azrael performed particularly badly, but I know Angel has picks in the locker that can actually make a big impact. I've seen Angel tearing it up in whatever role they play, so I'm very interested to see what impact this change has.
100%. We saw the Terra doing a lot of work. On Azrael, and we saw it paired quite well with the Zhonghui there. Maybe just a bit of difficulty for Azrael's farming in that first game was a little bit behind in the late game, but
The Martins
still,
don't want to see the tier that they
no.
thought Moxie had a lot of impact on it, which I agree with.
Yeah, we saw it in game one of Threats versus Pi, a lot of backline disruption, and we saw it in that game as well by Gravity Finance. We're able to do a lot with it, Moxie. So that has been better away, but the Baba Yaga locked in for first pick here for the Jack Martins. They obviously want to run it down with this god, and just can't blame them after the performance we've seen on it tonight.
Yeah, and we know Nan is a very big fan of this god. Even pre-patch, he was running this pick at a very good rate, very
Level,
well,
yeah.
good performances. Yeah,
Yep. Um, on the other side, though, by Gravity, they're going to lock in this Hachi Man and the King Arthur. So at least one big sword will be played this game. This time it'll be Moxie piloting the King Arthur. On the other side, Ganesh Ratatoska. Very interesting. A lot of, we've seen the Baba Yaga Ganesh combo be quite potent, locking people down inside of that Baba Yaga role. And Ratatoska provides a lot of good global presence here for the Jack Martins.
yeah, and with a character like Rat, having playing against a Ganesh is super difficult. If you blink in or like dash in, you can't do anything. So them not having the ban slot there, taking the Ganesh is awesome. I think very nice.
Absolutely. I really like that being picked up here. We've seen, we've had an excellent game on the Ganesh, the silence potential, just being able to prevent Jack Martin from doing anything. I'd expect that Moxie, after having seen how last game was played, the focus put into Jack Martin on that King Arthur, and how Weave was kind of focusing silences and knock-ups onto him, that Moxie very likely to pick up a Magi's this game. As Discordia locked in for by Gravity Finance here.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of talking about Discordia. People saying that with the nerfs to power, her passive actually kind of brings it back a little and makes some of that disparity a lot less, which I think is a good point to make. All the items being changed, Disco might shine through.
I quite like that. I think it's a big reason why we're seeing Shibalonke being picked up a lot. As you said, the nurse to power means that anybody with a passive that provides a bit of extra power, like Shibalonke passive, like Discordia passive, is definitely going to provide a bit of an extra boost right now. The Apollo lock in, though, maybe a very split push global oriented comp here for the Jack Martins.
Yeah, lots of global pressure. I like to see that. I don't know
I
about
do.
this Atlas hover. I suppose I take that back. I'll I'll support Weaver on anything. He's played so well so far this season. So if he wants Atlas, he can do work with it. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, Atlas, very similar to a lot of the gods that we've been seeing at the moment with just disruption and displacement. Atlas is fantastic for getting people out of position. Being able to grab this Apollo and knock him off the map before he's got an opportunity to do anything is great. It's going to pair alongside really well with this Barkasaur, just being able to throw out that Regurgitate ultimate and rip through health bars. On the other side, Jack Martin's, their last pick going to be that Kamazots. So maybe, yeah, they really are looking for just survivability, global sort of stuff, and kind of just appearing out of nowhere by the looks of it with this comp.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit ballsy of BGF to pick the Bucker and the Atlas into something like a Ganesh because the Ganesh has so much kind of negation where they can just sit on their support, Bucker blinks in, silence. You're forcing a Bucker to pre-beads if they want to kit dump your backline. Like it's it's interesting. So we'll have to see if Angel can pilot the Ganesh well or if they play more aggressively in the front line.
Very excited to see this one. We won't waste too much time. We'll jump straight into game number 2 here between Jack Martins and Gravity Finance. Will the Jack Martins be able to take us to a 3-game set, or are BGF going to be able to clean sweep the Martins here? It was a huge comeback in game number 1. Down 9k by Gravity Finance, were able to come back and claw a win out of the Jack Martins here. Let's see if they can do it again.
Yeah. Also, something interesting. I kind of predicted the Camazots going to Jack Martin. I've seen him pilot the God before, and I wouldn't be too shocked if I saw Clout on the Rat, but I do like Rat solo. I think with the tankiness that is around in this meta, building that protection acorn, getting percent protections, it's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think potentially, I mean, both of these gods, like the Camazots and the Ratatoska, feel like they're both really strong picks here for Jack Martin. I don't mind the Rat going in favor, or Jack going in the favor of picking up this Rat right now, because it does provide a lot of backline CC, and Jack Martin is very, very good at just zoning people out and preventing anybody from walking into an objective. So I don't mind that. You know, that's something Camazots can't really provide. On the other side of it, though, you know, Camazot's a very brawly god and something that Jack Martin also likes to do. So, you know, either way, I think it's a great option here. So a really good sort of flex pick between the Zots and the Rat here.
Yeah, we saw Jack Martin doing his best to zone in that last game there, but towards the end, BGF just didn't care. They just locked him down and killed him. So I don't know if they have the same amount of burn. The Bucket Cripple may be useful for locking down that Rat, but can still ult away. So it should be interesting. I think he might have a better time zone on the Rat, to be honest.
Absolutely. We pivot over towards this duo lane here. Angel putting on a fair bit of pressure with this Ganesh right now, just not letting Juki step up and clear this wave. At the same time, though, Weave doing exactly what he wants to against Furin, putting the pressure on. And a little bit poked down there was Weave, but the clear goes in favor here of By Gravity Finance. Over in mid, we're going to see Nan and Clouty. This is very interesting. The Camazots and Baba Yaga. Ooh, bit of a lot of brawling in this duo lane right now. Weave might be getting a little bit too poked out, but I mean, this is what you can do on Atlas. You can just walk up to people and just keep slapping them.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to play support and just walk at the other person and just be like, yeah, what? What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I have more health points than you. You're like, what are you gonna do about it? Yeah.
That's true. And I do quite like this support meta where it is just walking at people. I think that's why we saw the Ymir doing so well in Threats versus Pi, because it's a god that can just step up to people, freeze, slap them around. As Clouty is going to make the rotation over towards Moxie here, looking to be able to pick up this first blood in the solo lane. Won't be able to find it though, Jack Martin not able to provide any CC there to knock Moxie off the map. Big rotation, and on the other side, I would expect that House is going to rotate over towards this shield buff. In fact, no, it's just going to go in favor of BGF anyway with the pressure in the lane.
Yeah, that's all it takes. We've using his HP bar to get some wave pressure. Easy shield buff.
Absolutely. Over in mid, we can see House and Customs putting a lot of pressure onto Nan. House going to jump in and get a bit of poke out onto the mid laner for Jack Martins there. And I mean, across the board right now, BGF seem to have pressure in most of the lanes. Jack Martins have the tiniest bit of a lead at the moment, but it truly is not much right now, about 100 gold separating these two teams. I would expect, though, that with the pressure across the map that By Gravity Finance have, they're going to start picking up some of these mid camps. We're seeing a big grouping over left side, while Jack Martins going to the right side mids. So I would expect that the lead's going to start to go in favor of By Gravity Finance soon.
Yeah, I think as this game continues, House and Customs are going to have a lot of responsibility to be popping off in team fights, because I'm looking at that team comp and really, how else are they going to find picks? Like, the Bucker needs to be having a big impact.
Invade potential here. Clouty looking to steal away this blue buff. House just around this corner has 8 minion, not as strong as it used to be, but might be able to grab this one anyway. Will be secured there by the Barkasura. No steal here for the Jack Martins. A lot of poke coming out from Moxie onto Clouty though. A bit of healing. Jack Martin going to dash away as the rotation came out from Customs in the area on this Discordia. Still a chase on though, as now BGF are going to look to try to steal away this blue buff. Jack Martin going to stun out Moxie there, trying to prevent this King Arthur from walking in and getting anything. Link out from House though, and the turnaround is on. Clouty wants to take the fight, looking for Moxie here. Will be able to find first blood. Jack Martin credited with that one. House though turns it around and finds Clouty. Jack Martin now has his ultimate available. The stun comes out. Nan on the rotation as well. It's going to be a chase in here as the pot comes out, and the ultimate coming down from Jack Martin as well. Nan drops into that House. The knock-up is good, and Jack Martin finds himself a double kill for the first 2 of the game.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too deep from BGF. I like the idea of they got some good poke off while the enemy team was trying for the invade, or were they? No. Sorry, the enemy
Well,
team, yeah.
well, yeah.
And yeah, but possibly, maybe they just got distracted by the big sword, went a little bit too deep, and yeah,
Big sword is terrifying.
that's not good to have a rat 2 kills up.
Absolutely not. In this solo lane, Jack Martin being the one that pilots it, and him having such an easy potential to rotate out of this lane on the Ratatoska, so being ahead, is definitely going to provide a huge boon towards the mid lane now, because he can just get over to that lane and provide a gank. Yeah, you're right that I think it came down to House throwing out his blink there. It just meant that Cloudty could kind of turn around. He's got a lot of healing in his kit, so he's very happy to brawl. And that Bakasura not being level 5 just yet means that he blinks in and he's just going to fall in the meantime, though. Dharma Pillar's going to come down trying to keep the Jack Martins alive under their tower. Cloudty did pick up Customs in mid there, but there was a big chase down in left from BGF, not able to pick up any kills, but a lot of pressure on right now. It could still be dive, maybe not enough mana for weave. And this is big that Cloudty was able to pick up Customs, so it means that now he can roam around the map and look for this left side.
Yeah, and I like to see BGF being proactive and asking those questions, like, can we go and invade this? Like, they just expended HP in duo. Can we commit this? Like, BGF are actually trying to do something and not playing reactively, so it's good to see.
Absolutely, I do. You know, you said it perfectly there that they're trying to find what works for them right now in this game. They're not playing the Jack Martins game of Smite. You know, they were punished a little bit for it on the right side. That's not a mistake that they'll make again, I would say. Now that they know that they can't do that, they're going to put their pressure very likely on towards this duo lane side of the map, as House is going to secure down that shield buff as well from his rotation there.
Yeah, Cloud's possible solo.
Ooh, big ultimate down there from Jack Martin underneath the T1 tower in the solo lane, but Moxie able to knock him up into the air, and the rotation coming out from Cloud T though should be enough to knock Moxie off the map. The jump was good, and Moxie will fall again. This is huge. The jungle solo for Jack Martins right now are absolutely massive. It's a huge lead for Jack Martin, and he's going to continue to push that. Very likely going to knock this tower down and start rotating around the map.
Yeah, we saw this last game as well, Cloud putting some pressure towards solo, but unfortunately, I don't think that Moxie has the pick this game, like the tier, that he can still have a huge impact on, regardless from where he's at in the game. I think King Arthur has a little bit of a harder time, just like doing whatever he wants if he's a little bit behind.
Yeah, you know, in that same situation, had it been a tier that was being dove there, or Moxie was piloting that tier, we saw last game that he would have gotten off a Fearless, you know, and probably locked Jack Martin underneath his tower there, maybe even gotten the kill, definitely would have survived. You're right that the King Arthur isn't quite as survivable in that regard, or as versatile in that regard. And, you know, at the same time, the really hard thing for Buy Gravity Finance is that you know, House seems like he wants to put his pressure over towards the duo lane side, taking this 1v1 with Cloud T though, as the Apple of Discord is going to come out. Cloud T straight onto that bat out of hell, looking to try to knock House off the map. Won't be able to confirm it here. Angel a little bit late to the party. Will be able to find Customs here. The silence is good. Jack Martin's made a rotation as well, as the House is going to drop down, and Jack Martin finds his third kill of the game. Dharmic Pillars have been dropped as well, looking for Moxie Weave, making a bit of a low rotation, trying to zone out here. It's a big kill, and this could be a bit of a rotation, maybe towards an objective here for Jack Martins.
Yeah, this is an awesome start. Very strong start from Jack Martins. Hopefully they can just continue this pressure, because it seems like these fights have been going way more smoothly than last time. They can keep this up. I can see this game going a lot better for them.
Yeah, in a much better position now are the Jack Martins than they were at this time in the last game for sure. A bit of a better lead, about a K or 2K in the lead at the moment, 2,300 gold, so a very nice position to be in. House again making this rotation over to Joy Lane, going to secure off this shield buff. So trying again, it looks like BGF, they just want to get Juki ahead. And it worked for them last time, why couldn't it work this time?
Yeah, Juki, even, I don't know if he had a lead last time, but didn't really matter if he had a lead or not, because he just stayed in that lane for so long. And again, Furin's on a pick where he can leave the lane and rotate really well. So we might be seeing a similar thing again, of leaving Juki on an island and then just hoping he pops off late.
Although Juki might not be in an island for long here. The dash coming out in the ultimate, looking for Furin, but Cloud T is here. And now, without any escape potential, Cloud T is going to take the 1v1 here with Juki. Although Juki doing a good job, might just be able to trade this one out. No, rotation from Angel. Cloud T will knock Juki off the map. Now though, House has made a rotation over Weave in the area too. Jack Martin should be pretty safe, and that's a really big pick. This Camazotz is starting to get a bit out of control, I reckon, Moss.
Yeah, Kama's not very fun to play against when they have a lead. Kama is strong. He got the buff to his 2 right now as well. It was maybe the patch before, he got like an anti-heal or something on his 2. I think. Yeah, it seems like he's in a pretty good spot at the moment. We've seen it played in more than one set tonight, so maybe Kama's up there as one
Yeah.
of the more stronger gods.
Yeah, you know, we kind of talked about how Raven has been looking really strong because of his survivability. It's almost going back to the immortal Raven, you know, Phoenix diving without taking any damage time period. And Camazotz provides a lot of similar sort of capability. Very hard to kill god that heals very comfortably, and it doesn't seem like a lot of these teams are going towards an arc or anything to deal with the Camazotz and his survivability. So I'd like to potentially see some anti-heal to just stem some of this bleeding that the Camazotz is providing right now. And again, a rotation from Cloudty over towards his solo lane. Moxie might be in a bit more trouble. Going to try and dash away from this one with Jack Martin following out the bad AFL once more from Cloudty. Jack Martin, though, is not going to be able to dive this one by himself. Cloudty kind of stopped the chase there with the bad AFL. He's still underneath this tower looking for the damage. Might be able to find it as Moxie very low. Cloudty does find it, but in the meantime, the Gold Fury started up here by Gravity Finance. Excellent map play coming out. Gold Fury down to about half health. The Atlas ult was very early there. And the ultimate coming out from the Apollo, and the Baba Yaga will steal it away. Weave, low health, none. Picks up the kill, and the chase is going to stop there, but the Gold Fury stolen away there. Jack Martins pick up another kill. This is a huge game for them right now. Massive lead, 4.5k gold.
Such a nice combo between the Ganesh and the Baba Yaga. Like the potency of the pillars with the house on top is can do so much damage. And as we see there, just completely turn a fight. Furin comes in with the knock up and keeps them in there for even longer than they want to be. Yeah, that's a very nice bit of team play there.
I really like that. Furin might be in a bit of trouble here. The blink coming out from the house. Beads, though, popped by Apollo. Will fall, though. Great regurgitate and a good rotation there from House. This is what he needs to be doing, is finding the moments where Furin is weak. He's just used his ultimate. He stayed in lane a bit too long. Great play there from House to find that one.
Definitely. Now, if you're on BGF, what are you trying to do to get back into this game? It seems like it's going a bit out of control now.
You're right, it is going a bit out of control. I like this Buckasaurus 2-1, so he's not too far behind and definitely has hyper carry potential. I think you're looking towards Juki and House to really get themselves into a good position with farming. It's a little bit hard because you'd love to be able to see House spend his rotations over towards the duo lane as much as he can and try to pressure out Furin, just exactly the same way as Clouty is pressuring out Moxie. But Furin is so survivable on this Apollo. He can ult out whenever he wants, and he's so hard to kill. So, you know, what he did last time, House found his opportunity to go on Furin, knocked him off the map. Now Juki's a little bit further ahead, and House is not so far behind Cloudty. More plays like that, I think, is so necessary for BGF to get back into this game.
Yeah, I can't quite remember where we saw the Baka picked up for BGF in the draft, but Apollo feels so nice into Baka. If he commits on you, you can just mez him and walk away. It's quite a nice matchup. It could be why he picked it. Also, we saw him prioritize some sort of global pressure last game as well. But yeah, maybe the double-edged sword there with that pick.
Yeah, absolutely. As first Stygian beacon of the game will spawn. Jack Martin's in position for it. Angel, well done there. And Jack Martin himself has made a huge rotation over big ultimate. And the Apple of Discord will actually miss here on Cloud2, who's now using that bad out of health dive cast of Jack Martin underneath the tower as well. Looking for the damage. We'll be able to find a regurgitate though coming out from House. Looking for the damage on Jack Martin. That's a huge shutdown there for House. In the meantime, the Stygian beacon will go in favor of Jack Martin. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but knocking Jack off the map there from a 4-0 position is huge. Cloud2 now diving the backline of Gravity Finance. Big silence coming out from Angel, trying to get his jungler out of cost here. Cloud2 in a little bit of trouble, but not as much as House is. Furin able to rip through that health bar, and now Nan diving down that T2 tower with his own ultimate will find Juki. Huge play there for Jack Martins, pulling even further ahead right now.
Yeah, I think that's a really rough no rotation from the King Arthur. As you can see, like, it's pretty obvious that Jack Martins have so much dive. What can they do in a team fight if their backline's getting dove?
Yep.
What can Weave do, and how can they even engage a fight proactively with just Weave? Like, he has to look towards his backline. Moxie should have come for that, I think, but at the same time, he's still behind in farm. So like, yeah, it's tough. It's tough there.
It is really hard, and I think that's really what the Jack Martins have prioritized this game. They sent Cloudty over to that solo lane again and again and again and prevented Moxie from ever being in a position where he could out-rotate Jack Martin. And because of that, the global pressure that Jack Martin puts out is just immense around that mid lane fight. And you're right that if there was a King Arthur there, that dive doesn't go nearly as well there for the Jack Martins. And the story would be completely flipped. So we're going to need to find, or BGF are going to need to find a way to get Moxie a little bit of extra farm. Nan has just even this apple of Discord and the Regurgitate coming out from the house once more, but Nan able to drop that home, sweet home ultimate, keep himself alive, and that's a lot wasted there from Biogravity Finance to try to find Nan.
The house's only match is the house. It's official.
Only the house can take on the house, and I mean, it worked. Finally counted out.
I think that I don't think BGF are going to go down without a fight. They can get back into this game if I think the Disco needs to be helped a little bit from her front line, peeled from the dive, because we saw in that mid fight before she got dove under tower by a Camazotz in the air and then rat ulted. Like she can't have any impact in these fights at the moment. So something needs to change with the mid lane peel priority, I think, for BGF to have a bit more promise in these fights.
Yeah, 100%. We've seen We've taken a very aggressive stance in these team fights, and so it's meant that he's in the front line rather than protecting his mid laner customs in the back line. You're right that if he was there, he's got the potential to pull Jack Martin away or prevent cloudT from diving as deeply and being able to get that bat out of hell off. Now though, finally, Moxie's made a rotation over, but he's surrounded by so many members of the Jack Martins. As Gold Fury is spawning, the knockup's going to come through from Angel to prevent Moxie from getting out of this one, but the Apple of Discord also came through. Big Dharmic Pillars underneath the tower is going to give cloudT the space he needs to dive, and we're seeing it once more, bat out of hell under the tower, no one there to protect custom. So low health will be dove here by Angel. The knockoff is good, and Nan's able to find the kill. The follow-up here, Jack Martin diving underneath this tower with his ultimate is going to be able to find Moxie underneath the T2 tower. No regurgitate potential here for the house. Already popped that one off. And in the meantime, in duo lane, Furin taking a 1v1 with Juki, forces the horse out there, trying to push down this left side T1 tower. Jack Martin's making a rotation as well. This could be a big dive as the T1 tower in mid falls from the Jack Martins. Big map play. Jack Martin is here, going to dive the tower. Juki dashes out, not able to find the stun. The damage coming out from Jack Martin is good, but he's not taking the tower there for Furin. No dive potential now. It's the rotation coming out from House as well. Might be able to find the count or the kill onto Jack Martin himself. Link out from House, the auto attacks are good. The bees popped by Jack Martin very early there. Dash away might be enough as the jump follow-up here from House. No stun there for Jack Martin. The damage coming out is good, but it isn't enough. House, few more auto attacks. Jack Martin trying to juke away from this one. Dash good. Jack Martin lives.
That's a shame. That was
follow-up. Onto House. It's not going to be enough, I don't think.
House should be out, yeah.
Just didn't expect it.
Yeah. I think it's another example in that fight of just so much dive, and BGF just don't know how to deal with it. I wouldn't know how to deal with getting double sky godded on cooldown. Like, it's pretty difficult.
It is absolutely terrifying. You know, maybe a bit of overextension there from the Jack Martins trying to pick up that kill on the left side onto Juki, but yeah, that's so difficult to deal with when you've got the Camazotz, you've got the Ratatoska, who just can appear out of nowhere and dive your backline.
Yeah, unfortunately, this game isn't looking like it has much of a window back in for BGF. I'm not sure. They must just need a kind of a Hail Mary miracle play or someone to just pop off consistently for them to have any way back in.
Apple of Discord off the mark this time for Customs. Jack Martin's going to be able to get up into the air here as the Gold Fury has been started up by the Jack Martin. Stun out very strong there. The Ratatoska providing so much, and the Dharmic Pillars is actually going to confirm that kill there. Great play by Angel to knock House off the map. cloudT deep into the backline here, allowing his team space to be able to start up this Oni Fury down to about half health right now. Furin should have enough damage to knock it off. Moxie, I don't think he's going to be able to rotate in time, and again, we're seeing that Jack Martin and cloudT so good at zoning people out. Moxie is here, but not in time to stop this one from going down. Jack Martin will secure this Gold Fury. Now cloudT again in the backline, looking for Customs with this bat out of hell. Might not dive the T2 tower, but showing that it's so hard to protect this Discordia as again, home sweet home, dropped, looking for the damage underneath the T2 tower. Nan trying to get in here, taking a little bit of tower poke. The Aegis pop to keep himself alive outside of Weave there, and Jack Martin once again zoning to keep his team alive. Jack Martin pick up gold, and they're going to back away from this left side of the map.
Yeah, this is a great showing. The team synergy seems way better from Jack Martin's this game. Angel's very clean with the pillar positioning, and then immediately straight back to tanking gold. It seems like they're way more cohesive as a unit this game, which is good to see. Angel, I think, is quite an underrated player, has a very high level of mechanical skill, but also seems to not forget about support duties. So yeah, it seems like it's going pretty well.
Yeah, I think that this roster looks very strong with Angel on it right now. He's you're right, providing a lot of work on this Ganesh specifically. The silencers just are doing so much work, and the Dharmic Pillars really, really strong. And we've seen a few times tonight that Ganesh next to Baba Yaga is terrifying, and Nan and Angel are showing that right now.
Yeah, so I think next we'll be looking towards this fire giant. Although I think there's been at least 2 of the Stygian beacons now for Jack Martin, so you could.
Oh my god.
Oof. Come on, Juki.
Furin picks up the kill onto Juki with the charge bow shot off a minion or off the tower there. Regurgitate did come out from house, but Furin able to ult away from that one. It's rough, buddy.
Is that solo of the week, perhaps?
We're gonna have to clip it. If only the one guy that does all of those those highlight reels was here, right?
Yeah, maybe we might see him shortly.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him at some point.
Yeah.
Wow, that was something, and it might just provide enough pressure now that the Jack Martins can rotate over towards this right side of the map. We do see Furin and Cloud T are over towards the left still, while Jack Martin, Angel, and Nan trying to pressure down this right side T1 tower. A lot of damage coming out into Moxie. Should be pretty survivable on this King Arthur right now, but is getting poked out quite a bit by Nan.
Yeah, and even though he's caught up in level, I'm still a bit worried about the impact that this King Arthur is going to have. I don't know how much it's going to bring, because like their team is lacking engage and peel, and I feel like he's just going to be running around spitting.
We've seen it again. Cloud T and Jack Martin diving and looking for customs. 0-5 is this Discordia, and at the end of the day, it's because of the just immense dive potential and pressure that this Kamazots and Ratatoska put out together.
Surely this should be a big fire pull. I think the Pyro is a little bit too safe. They could just rip it. They have the Ganesh and the Baba. Even though they don't have ults, I still think they should have a pretty good chance at the big fire there.
Massive lead on Furin right now over Juki, showing that he can take the 1v1 right now. It's a 3-level lead for this Apollo. And you're right, that did look like a Fire Giant angle. Furin didn't have his ult up just yet. I think maybe if that was up, it would have been the perfect time to just start fire, get your Apollo out there and knock it down. But now the Jack Martins are going to put their pressure over towards this mid T2 tower. They don't have Furin here, so relying on the bombs to knock it down, they will be able to drop it off the map there. Cloud T also is going to be able to get behind House here. If you're in a position to potentially engage, but House going to be safe to jump into that T2 tower. Good map play still here by the Jack Martins, who now have a 10k gold lead over by Gravity Finance.
Wait, is by Gravity Finance the team that's meant to have Wax on it?
They did.
Is he no longer, or is he just AFK this week?
He is no longer on this team.
Oh, maybe that's the reason that this game isn't going too well. The no Zithulu.
No Zithulu to make the difference.
Yeah.
Yep.
Moxie just doesn't have it in the locker.
Unfortunate. No comment further than that from me. Yeah, a bit of a change up for their roster here. I think as well that they are using a few subs. We haven't seen Melbs actually playing on this team yet, despite being main roster for them now.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I think that would be a very good change up for this team. I don't think they're performing overly badly, but I think Melbs could bring a bit of invigoration, freshness to this team, which would be good.
Yeah, you know, it's a few subs, so that's a bit hard for them here, but, you know, they're still having a really close set with the Jack Martins. Speaking of whom, though, Jack Martin deep in the backline once more, looking to invade that blue buff away, and has managed to pull 3 people over here. Gonna jump up into that ultimate, but I think that was enough with the amount of people that he pulled over for Furin and Angel to take this Gold Fury, and that's exactly what they're doing.
But is Gold Fury really where they want to be? I think at this point in the game, with the lead that they have, they should be looking to put on the pressure even harder and head towards fire.
Yeah, this is a lot of safe gameplay for what a situation that doesn't feel like it needs to be safe, and it opens up room for mistakes, as we've just seen there as Jack Martin. He's going to be locked down and taken down there by the Regurgitate from the house. Very rough there. After he managed to pull so many people away, he gets himself trapped in a bad position, and the chase is on from Gravity Finance. The ultimate coming out from King Arthur as well will knock Angel up. No follow-up there from the Discordia, but the damage is good. Angel very likely to fall here. Furin trying to walk into this one and provide the damage. Angel able to dash underneath the tower is enough to get House out of position, and Cloud T makes a rotation in and picks up House. Now Cloud on the chase himself, looking for customs here. Shell popped, and Furin with the ultimate will land on customs. One more order would do it, and the Jack Martins managed to turn this one around yet again. Now is the time that you'd expect a push for this Fire Giant, though, from the Jack Martins. Yeah,
but you've seen them be very hesitant to pull it with 2 tanks up, so I'm not really sure if they're going to pull it with no tanks. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, Cloud T is apparently confident in it. He's here and he will start up the Fire Giant. It's happening. Furin provides a lot of damage into this one. Nan as well. The Fire Giant already down to half health. Cloud-T taking it up right now. Weave is making rotation to the back of this one. It's a hard angle to steal from, but if anyone can do it, Weave can. Has got no ultimate available, so he's trying to do it with his one. Jack Martins will secure this Fire Giant down. Maybe looking for Weave off the back of this one as well as Jack Martin's going up in the air, chasing down, knock up onto Weave. He's not going to connect, but the damage is there. And Weave pulling Cloud-T, but it might not be enough. He's going to be knocked off the map. Cloud-T forced into the air. Nah, I'm going to go into home, sweet home, throwing out some ultimate damage onto Juki, and we're seeing how much potential this Baba Yaga provides. A long distance Apple of Discord as well, won't be able to connect with anyone. Jack Martins still have the potential to push down mid here. They're in a great position for it right now, but they're going to back off. Maybe get a bit more farm and try to knock these T2s off the map.
I think that staggering of their support there should be a opportunity. It is an opportunity for them to really put their foot on the pedal and pressure this league. Them having no support, mismatched, staggered, and then they just back. Like, I know that there's more to it than that, but if they were fully grouped, they could be pressuring a Phoenix as we speak.
Absolutely, you know, we saw in game number 1 that Jack Martins, they didn't have quite this lead, but it was a 9,000 gold lead, and by Gravity Finance, because they were given enough time to get back into the game, they managed to claw back a lead and take the game. So any time in which Jack Martins are not putting their gas, putting the pedal in the middle, basically putting the gas on, is an opportunity for BGF to get back into the game.
Yeah, and we saw that their lead doesn't last forever. Once everybody gets full build, like, who cares if you had a lead? Everyone's kind of matched now, so hopefully for BGF they can stall out until everybody kind of catches up in levels, because we see 4 out of 5 members of Jack Martins being level 20, all with starters. Oh no, not the mid. Like, this should be they're in a prime position for just run it down, I suppose.
Well, it looks like they have heard you and they want to pressure mid and left Phoenix here, the Jack Martins. And it is Jack Martin and Cloud-T pushing into this mid here. Cloud-T has an angle to be able to get into the back line if he wants to. Throw that bat out of hell into the left side if he can make a rotation. Even Jack Martin could throw his own ultimate over and just provide a huge bit of pressure onto this left side Phoenix. Juki starting to fall a little bit low, and here it goes. Jack Martin up into the air. Cloud-T is going to dive into the back line here. Jack Martin does land on Juki as the left side Phoenix falls ever lower. None in that home, sweet home ultimate will be able to find Juki, and now the pressure is on the Moxie knockup coming out from Angel. Weave trying to do what he can, but he's chased down by the bat out of hell. Nam will be able to pick up that double kill, and now the Jack Martins in prime position to end this game. Going to push their way into this mid Phoenix, get the Titan a little bit weaker, but now LaHouse coming back, regurgitate out onto Nam, forces the bees and the Jaeger's out. Moxie has made his way back in as well. Spin to win out as the chase is on from Jack Martin. Look for that stun. Angel very low health here. Cloud-T going to dive in, but cops the ultimate from the King Arthur. Still trying to take this 1v2. Is shut down there by Customs. Big push from Jack Martins. Get 2 Phoenixes, but can't end the game just yet.
I was going to say, surely they end. Wait a minute. Titans in right lane.
Oh.
I was like, surely there's an end call here.
They couldn't end.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the first time I've actually seen that come into play.
Well, Fioren's going to deal with it, but yeah, I did not realize where the Titans were at that time. Well, technically, Jack Martin's just killed a Titan, which is what we wanted them to do in that moment, right? So it's fine.
But that made that siege really awkward, because then they're all there.
They just didn't have an
and
angle
what are
to
they
end
doing?
the game.
And then they lose one, and like it's what we were talking about before with these are the opportunities that BGF need to catch up. So like that type of I don't know, it's a change. It might mean something. Who knows?
I'm here for that change up there, and for the Titan actually being the one thing that prevented the game from ending there. It will, however, be the Order Titan pushing down the right side of the map here into Chaos's base. We love to see Trebuchet Titan pushing down here. Will fall very likely, but it meant that an extra T2 will come off the map here, and Jack Martins are in prime position. They should be able to take a Fire Giant and end the game, but instead they're positioning for a bit of a corner bait here around mid, or they're just going to the Gold Fury.
Yeah, why not? This will make their siege so much better. Like, if you consider having Primal, having all of those beacons, like, they should be able to see no issue now.
Absolutely. You know, they've picked up, I think, 2 Primal Furies this game, so they've got a lot of potential to clear out this Fire Giant very quickly. So 15,000 gold after that Gold Fury lead here for Jack Martins. I would expect that they're going to very quickly pick up this Fire Giant, look to push down right and end this game.
The ball's in their court, though. We've seen from previous games that BGF kind of like to be sitting in their Titan room defending. That's where they seem to be very strong. So it's up to the Jack Martins to siege well and not make any kind of plays that they don't need to, spending ults, because I think Weave will counter on that. He knows what he wants to do on the defense.
We've seen Lahouse as well. He's still 4-4-2 on this Barkasaurus, so having a good game on the Barca right now, despite his team being quite far behind. He has very consistently managed to throw out that Regurgitate to follow up on anything that Weave is doing and find kills or find relics where he needs to. So, you know, underneath the Titan fight, that two-man combo between Weave and House is definitely going to be enough to be able to push back on the Jack Martins and potentially prevent them from ending. It is going to be at this point, though, the Jack Martins are not going to finish off the Fire Giant just yet. Now they will, looking potentially to get an EFG, but maybe seeing the rotations coming out from BGF, they decide to secure that one down. And it looks like they're rotating towards the left side of the map. Lei looking for Juki, knowing that he was around this side, potentially pinged up on some wards. Blink out from Cloud T is going to force the horse out of this Hachi man. Big grouping here from Jack Martins. Looking maybe to push down for an end here. It's 1v1 going on between Cloud T and Juki. Doesn't have the horse available on the Bat Out of Hell. Doing so much work. Aegis popped there by Juki, though. Is going to push Cloud T back as well as that Apple of Discord. But Angel is in the backline once more. He's pushing in with those Diamond Pillars. Looking for Juki to drop out of the sky there from Jack Martin. Will find himself that kill. In the meantime, though, Nan was frontlining and has taken so much damage that Home Sweet Home just barely keeping him alive. Managed to rip through those health bars, though. Furum finds himself Lahouse. Left side, Phoenix in a lot of trouble here. Furum going to walk in and knock this one off the map. Angel frontlining once more. Knock up onto Moxie. A little bit more damage will do it, but no, Moxie going to be able to survive this one for now. Cloud T, low health. Two members of Bi Gravity Finance off the map. Two Phoenixes down. Can they defend here? Will the Jack Martins manage to get us to a game 3 right now?
Angel just did such a good job. Clapped the Bakasura as soon as he engaged. Hit him with the 3 knockup. Snubbed their whole engage for the entire team. That was very well played.
I liked his positioning there as well. Cloud T was the one chasing down Juki there and forced him into a position where Angel was able to rotate around, like, you know, kind of wrap around that wall there, throw out those Dharmic Pillars and give Jack Martin the space he needed to knock that kill off. I really like the way that these guys are all playing together at the moment. It seems very, very potent together.
I think it's a bit too safe though from Jack Martins. They have that cohesion. Surely they can just walk in there and just say hit Titan.
That's true. You would expect that someone would have called that by now.
Yeah, maybe they're just scared of like Discordia hitting a huge box and then just like killing everybody, or like, I don't know, Baka spewing all over them, but they just don't want to do it if they don't have, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 picks. I would like to see them be a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you here that, you know, we've talked about this a few times tonight, but at a certain point in the game, goal difference stops meaning anything. XP difference has already stopped meaning anything, as all 10 players in the game have reached level 20. So the longer that this game draws out, the sooner that the Phoenixes can come back for BGF, and, you know, the sooner that their fight potential becomes even once again with Jack Martin. So the only time really, as we've seen already, for these guys to be able to end is when they have this massive lead, because otherwise BGF will draw this one back in and they will be able to take the game against Jack Martins once more. Yeah,
perhaps they're just a bit iffy on the fact that they could throw. Like, they found a pick on a late game Hunter and they didn't get too much out of it. Like, I feel like that is a good opportunity to, press it a bit.
Well, it's going to be looking for the Oni Fury here from Jack Martins. I don't mind this. You've got 3 Oni Fire Waves that will start pushing down once this Gold Fury goes down. And that might just be what Jack Martins are looking for to be able to end this game. Will go down and those waves will start spawning soon. Maybe an opportunity for a corner bait or something here, as Cloud T starting to push up alongside Nan and Angel. Around this corner as well, Jack Martin himself. But a lot of ward coverage here from BGF. Just really want to know where everybody is right now, and I love that from them here.
Yeah, well, I suppose they're just saying, we're going to find out where you are. It's on you. We don't have, you have way more of a chance to throw than us, so like, they're just going to try and 50-50 their ability to, I don't know, play safe. I suppose they've been playing safe already, but it's way harder to, in the position of the Jack Martins at the moment, to have success, because from BGF they can just walk back to their fountain, heal, come back. So like, yeah, the ball's in the court of the people sieging.
And so far, BGF doing a great job just turtling. They've set their 5 members into really strong positions here to prevent Cloud T or Jack Martin from walking in on the left or right side, which is exactly what the Jack Martins need to be able to do right now. They're trying to find an angle to dive in here. Furin pulled pulled in by Weaver, taking so much damage off the back of it. Jack Martin, though, is going to get up into the air looking for a dive here. Cloud T just beside him as well. Moxie's going to be the target. Isn't going to fall just yet as the Diamond Killer's dropping. Now the Titan being engaged on None, throwing out his own ultimate. And Cloud T into the back line. He's going to be able to find House, and the game will end there. 24-6 in favor of Jack Martins, and they bring us to a 1-1 tied set, game number 3.
Yeah, nice. I feel like they could have done that earlier. You see there, they had the damage to kill the Titan. So, yeah,
So they did
very
it.
well played. There was a consistent lead throughout the entire game. There was a few little glimpses towards the late that it looked like BGF might have a foot back in the door, but really they were kind of outclassed by Jack Martins for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, you know, it was definitely a big lead from the start there out of Jack Martins. They were able to carry that lead through the game. A lot of safe gameplay coming out there. Wanted to make sure that they knocked all 3 Phoenixes down. Not an Oni Fury, you know. I think playing a bit more scared after losing such a huge lead in game number 1.
Yeah, so I believe that is a very nice win for the Jack Martins. They believe in themselves to be a good team, so getting these victories is very crucial. Their game last week, I think that they were pretty confident in winning, but they didn't pick up the victory. So yeah, I think for the team, this is a very important win.
Absolutely. As we will very shortly be getting into game number 3 between these 2 teams, we now have a tied set. I'm very excited to see who is able to take this one. You know, we've seen a lot of player changes for both of these teams right now. You know, Jack Martins have pulled Angel into support. Obviously, By Gravity Finance have changed up their roster a little bit. So it's not surprising that a lot of these players are still kind of getting comfortable with each other and finding their feet together. But yeah, and a very exciting set for that fact.
Yeah. Are we going to take a short break before the next game? Or are we going to head right into it? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll take
either
a.
way.
You know what? We'll chuck on a quick cinematic. We'll take a very short break, and we'll be right back with you for game number 3 here between Jack Martins and By Gravity Finance. back, ladies and gentlemen, to this exciting set between Jack Martins and By Gravity Finance. We're at a 1-all set right now. Jack Martins, a very convincing victory in game number 2. Not willing to drop that drop that game after game number 1, where they had a massive lead over By Gravity Finance, and unfortunately, we're not able to clean it up. Boss, this is very exciting as we're going to go into game number 3, picks and bans here. Who do you reckon is going to be able to take this set?
Honestly, after that last game, I think it looked like Jack Martins cleaned up their game a lot. Could be from bringing Angel in, could be from just a better picks and bans phase, but it seemed like they had a lot more of a strong grasp on the game in comparison to the first one. So if they keep that up, I think they should have a very good chance in this last game. Yeah.
Very, very keen to see which direction this goes in. P's and B's so far. Martikris and Yamoja banned away by Gravity Finance. Jack Martins taking the Thor away this time, not willing to let House pilot that one. And also the Shibalonke, knowing very well that the power that God's providing in the late game and Juki's very specific build on it is not something they want to deal with.
Yeah, I think they're good bands. There's like some kind of meta strength to them, but they're also comfort picks. So it's
Mhm.
like it's quite a nice top 3 bands from Jack Martins.
With the Raven locked in here
Oh, the
first for
Raven.
Gravity Finance, and that God was banned a fair bit before this one, so seeing it top picked is a bit scary. On the other side,
This is gonna be a movie.
oh yeah, absolutely. Archieman and Tier locked in now for Jack Martins as well. And we've seen Tier have some ups and downs so far tonight. Very disruptive backline, as we've said a few times. His ultimate provides so much now with that stun on it. And obviously the Archieman, very safe, a good pick for Furin, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jay Better on the tier too much, but I think with his play style of really getting in the face of like the backline and zoning real high, I think tier is probably a good pick for him.
Yeah, I think Jack Martin probably just needs to start zoning a little bit closer to his team now. We've seen a few times that a Ganesh has been picked up and Jack Martin has a bit of a struggle when he is deep in the back line, and he gets picked off a little bit too easily at the moment, doesn't have a Magi's or anything. And once again, Weaver's looking at this Ganesh, it is going to be locked in for him here.
Yeah, I love the Ganesh. It seems to be quite an important pick in this set, either being taken each game.
Mhm.
Not a big fan of the disco. It seemed like he struggled a little bit, or quite a lot last game, dealing with the dive, just even self peeling, escaping the dive as the character itself. So picking a disco, knowing that the enemy team has the tendency to pick dive characters and already has a tier, is a bit risky for me.
Yeah, we saw Customs did struggle a little bit on that disco in that last game against the very, very strong dive and hard to interrupt dive of Ratatoska and Kamazots. This time, though, might be a little bit easier to survive the dive of a tier when you've got a Ganesh next to you, I think.
Yeah, Ganesh is very nice into the tier. It can force out a beads pickup, can force out uh, a few other itemization changes for the tier, which you might not usually be going. So yeah, I do like the Ganesh. It's quite difficult to play tier into a good Ganesh who's sitting really tight on his backline, which I
100%.
think Weave can do. He's shown that he's quite skilled on the Ganesh. So yeah, good
Yeah,
pickup.
I've had a great time watching Weave play this Ganesh tonight, and I'm keen to see him pilot it in this game. It was a bit of a rough time on the Atlas last game, I think purely because it's so hard to peel the very strong Kama and Rat Dive that Jack Martin's had. But yeah, very keen to see him on this Ganesh. Very keen to see this Discordia have a little bit more space to work with. Athena locked in here for the Jack Martins. That's quite an
That's an
interesting pick.
angel. That's an angel spice pick.
I like it.
Picked up a few times actually in the finals of last season when Angel was subbing on my team, and very confident on the Athena. So
Big
um,
fan of the Athena, honestly.
yeah, I'm keen to see. It's good beads band for the tier dive, and yeah, I think it's a nice pickup.
What mid laner do you think they want to give Nine here to pair with this Athena Moss?
Ooh, there's so much. It's like
So many.
yeah, like Nan has quite a substantial pool, and I think there's a few gods that are stronger at the moment. So maybe something like I think the picks like Merlin is still good. It's quite nice to get Athena set up for really any mage though. So maybe you could see like a Ra, Yanis, who knows?
I'd be very excited to see
Or the
Nine
Agni,
piloting the
the
Ra
Agni.
or the Agni, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it looks like, I mean, Bigarity Finance are targeting currently, they've banned away the Kali, so maybe they're targeting the, targeting out Cloud T here on his jungle picks. On the other side, Jack Martins are going to ban away this Ram, ban away this Hunbarts. So it looks like they don't want to give Biography Finance more opportunities to have team fight play here. That Humbards would have paired really, really well with this Discordia and Ganesh as well.
Yeah, I feel like there are still plenty of good jungle picks open once these are taken off the board. Like if Clout wants to keep up his really high pressure, he could look to something like a Fenrir, because Fenrir, Athena Tier, so much beads burn, someone's going to get their shit off without any problem. So like that could be a good look. Oh, we
Ooh, it's
see the
going to be the
Ra.
Ra here for Nan.
I
I,
do
I'm,
like that.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I like the healing. Now that the Jack Martins have behind them here with this Ra, good bit of sustain and great, great follow up on this Athena. Very low cooldown, good secure. I really like that here for the Jack Martins.
Definitely. Yeah, and the tier as well. So much setup. Should be
Absolutely.
good to see.
Absolutely. I definitely think this is currently based on the way the Pixel bands are going. Ooh, Guan Yu hovered. We haven't seen that too much tonight, but he definitely had a place in the meta last season or last patch.
So it's a Raven jungle, perhaps. I was definitely going to say that's going towards solo, so, but I don't mind it in the jungle. It still can offer the same amount of like lockdown with his three. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe a little bit less survivable, having to build a little bit more damage on that Raven in the jungle. But it would be Guan and Hoi locked in. So this Raven, as you said, very likely to go into the jungle here. And yeah, still really brawly, still going to have quite a good time diving this Ra, I would say. Very, very easy for him to stick onto the Ra in the mid to late game around these team fights.
yeah, definitely. The Ra should have some survivability if they just pop their two and Athena hard peels them, but then that also takes away a lot of their good engage. So yeah, depends how this Guan's playing and if this Ganesh is playing real far back line or if he's looking to like get his pillars for I don't know Hu Yi on the Ra perhaps, or like that could
Yeah.
be a good way for By Gravity to play more aggressively.
Yeah, and look, I like what Biogravity have drafted here. They've got themselves a very, very team fight oriented team comp. They want to drop Dharmic Pillars, drop the Suns off of Hoi Yi, get a Guan Yu in there, get some Discordia damage in there. So I really like that. On the other side, Jack Martins, they've picked up the Alquang here. So it seems like they want to be able to set up for this Ra, but also just give space for Clouty to be on a hyper carry like this Alquang. And they've kind of given themselves a few angles into this game, I think. And again, a lot of dive potential onto this Discordia, which I think was a big difference maker in the last game as opposed to the first one.
Yeah, do you reckon we'll be seeing the 11 and 0 Alquang or the 0 and 11?
Oh, there's no in between, is there?
No, unfortunately.
I don't know. I think that this Ganesh really, really peels quite well for this Discordia right now. Has a decent matchup into the dive that Arquang has. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the 0-11 angle coming out here for the Arquang because weave piloting this Ganesh, so strong, such good peel. Um, it's going to be a hard time, I think, for Jack Martins to really break into the shell that is the BGF team comp right now.
But we know that this region terrified of the Clout Alquang, so
I am.
they're probably going to be quaking.
I certainly am quaking looking at this one coming through right now.
I
It's
think
very.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think that this really will be depending on how the Ganesh chooses to engage, or if he wants to just sit really far back and leave all the engage to House, because House seems to be very eager to engage, even on the picks like Baka. Yeah, so
Mm.
it would be very interesting to see how they play the fights.
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 here between Gravity Finance and Jacked Martins. So far, BGF take game number 1. A very, very close, or sorry, a very huge swing back in their favor after being 9,000 gold down. Game number 2, though, Jacked Martins brought themselves an amazing 10,000 gold lead and able to close out the game very, very comfortably. It'll be very, very interesting to see if Jack Martins are able to get an early lead again, if they're going to drop it, or if Gravity Finance are going to be able to just run with this very team fight oriented comp and keep up with the brawling that Jack Martins are so comfortable with.
Yeah, the Jack Martins have the picks to let Clout pop off. They can burn beads like no one's business with the Athena, with the tier.
Mm-hmm.
He can run rampage if they're getting good enough engages and having the relics stripped for no reason. Like if you get a sneaky Athena dash taunt at the start of a fight, strip of beads, Cloud's going to be ruining.
100%. And, that's I like now, actually, now that you've mentioned a lot more, the angle that Jack Martins have gone in here. You're right that the amount of beads pump that they've got. Normally, you would see a lot of beads pump for a team fight oriented comp like with a Hunbarts or something like that. But being able to provide Cloud T what he needs to be able to get an execute off by removing those beads from people, I like that quite a bit actually.
Yeah, I think this solo lane should be pretty standard as well. Like Guan, Tia, they're both just gonna think that they're gonna kill the other person, but really they're just gonna clear wave and like look at each other awkwardly. So I don't know if too much is gonna happen there. Yeah, I think that happens quite a lot in solo. I feel like you have kill potential on anyone.
Ooh, House though is going to be able to pick up the first blood in mid. Cloud T able to turn it around and pick up one. Is he able to pick up the second one? Looking for customs here. One more will do it, and Cloud T has a double kill in the mid lane. 1 for 2 trade. First blood for BGF, but Cloud T now has a significant lead over over the House after that.
He's cooking. He's cooking. He can't
He
go
is
0 and
cooking.
11.
Nope, not if he's 2-0.
Possible reverse godlike?
Yeah, surely. That's quite interesting because I was just about to talk about the fact that Cloud T's been putting so much pressure onto the solo lane, and you know he's actually walking over there right now. But now that he's put a huge amount of pressure into mid, I wouldn't be surprised to see him just continue to do this and just continue to keep customs down because he's got the angle to do it, and he's got the angle to just focus out house now whenever he wants.
Yeah, Cloud's solo pressure complements.
Big brawl in the duo lane. Juki very low health. One more auto might be enough to do it. Won't be able to find it though. Juki able to get behind his Bastion's Weave a little bit low as well as House has made a big rotation over. Might be able to find something here. Brood out onto Furin. Dash out from Weave as well. Is going to knock Furin up. Beast forced out. House still on the chase looking for anything he can get here. Angel trying to protect his duo laner there. His ADC. The auto attacks are coming out. The silence from Weave is good. And finally, Furin will fall there. House making an excellent rotation now. Looking for Angel as well. The Root's going to come out into the Athena and the knock up off the back of it as well off of Weave. Dash out. Angel able to get under tower, but a great rotation from House.
Yeah, that's huge. Clout, as I was saying before, Clout and Jack Martin play off each other quite well, I think. Jack isn't afraid to just sit back and just ask the question of the enemy solo lane, like, what are you going to do if I'm going to freeze your lane here?
100%.
Yeah, like I have a jungler who priors solo, I'm going to freeze your wave, what's going to happen? And exactly that.
Exactly that. Cloud T has made his rotation to that solo lane and he has picked up the kill onto Moxie. We've seen it all night, we've talked about it quite a bit. Jack Martin and Cloud T play so well together, engage together so nicely, and they found the kill onto Moxie, but this time House has an angle in at the duo lane and he's found the position that he wants to be in. He's pressuring this duo lane, he's going to come over here once more as Weave knocks up Angel there. Silence is onto him, the Athena can't find a way out. Taunt in, Narn's made the rotation over, Searing Pain connects, Juki low, Weave low, Furin looking for a few more auto attacks. Great rotation from Narn is going to pick him up that kill onto Juki.
Yeah, that's very big value to freehand the 1-4 combo on Rakus.
Oh, Narn though, out of position now, will be engaged on here by House, tries to drop that heal, bad positioning, bad rotation back into mid lane there. Will mean that House gets himself a kill in return for it. Very close game, a lot of brawl so far in this one.
And we're seeing that Raven isn't just strong in the solo lane, like he's strong regardless. House is performing very well, 3 kills in 3 minutes already, so that's promising for BGF.
100%. You know, we haven't so far really seen, I guess BGF were definitely willing to take the fights in game number 1, but I don't think we've seen a game so far where it's just been really like dead even, kill for kill trading between these two teams yet. So, you know, if BGF can be even in the game, you know, or if BGF can be super far behind and win a game, then I think the BGF from even are in a great position to be able to win, and so far they're showing it in this early game.
Yeah, we just need to see if they can transition that into more aggressive mid 3v3, because that's where all the pressure comes from, getting these mid camps and kind of starting a snowball and then hopefully spiraling that a little bit out of control, because we saw that's what happened last game with Jack Martins. They had so much control. Apollo ults, like, yeah, I want to see how this turns out in the mid 3v3.
Yeah, very excited to see that one as Angel is going to dash in there in mid, looking for an engage onto Customs. Not going to be able to find the kill there just yet. Angel still level 4, but it doesn't matter too much for an Athena right now. The taunt really what you're looking for here, and as we mentioned earlier, the beads pop very potent there. It's a 1v1 going on in the duo lane here. Furin going to dash in, looking for Juki there. The sun's already down and the jump not available. Cloud T is here, going to be able to chuck this ultimate, doesn't even need it. The ultimate came out from Angel. Cloud T finds that kill and now putting the pressure over towards the duo lane rather than solo. That's a great switch up there from Cloud. Narn though in a lot of trouble here, trying to juke his way out of this one, will be knocked up by Weave. The apple is going to connect and Narn falls there. Great rotation over from Weave and House to be able to pick that one up.
Definitely. I think some of the experience of the players on the Jack Martins is really showing there, because they know how to force a dash or force a movement ability out of their lane opponent, and
Yep.
they know that Cloud's just sitting there. Like, it's a good skill to have, especially when you have a solo lane, a jungler who's willing to just sit there and wait.
100%. Big positioning around this left side mid camp though, as the Dharmic Pillars have gone down, and Angel in a very rough position trying to find a way out of this one. Will be knocked up by Weave. The rotations are coming through, as well as Custom is able to find that damage out. Cloud T trades the supports there, gets his ultimate off on the execute onto Weave, and is going to dive in looking for House here as well. A few more autos will provide a lot here, as he is able to blink in there. Raven though immuning so much, and Customs has made the rotation over to help out as well. Double kill for House, finds Cloud T, and a big shutdown there as well for the jungler.
Such a good shutdown. That was a 5-0 Alquang, so like that is
huge.
gigantic. Now, like, House himself is 5-1, so just as big.
Bit of a blue buff invade potential there from Moxie. Jack Martin will secure it though. We've seen the tier does not often lose his blue buff in these sorts of matchups, but yeah, you're right, that House being able to get that kill onto Cloud T specifically, that it's a jungle for jungle trade when that was a 5-0 Alquang, has made a huge difference. And look at the swing in gold as well. BGF now about 1200 gold up. This is really good for them to be able to have a lead in this early game.
Yeah, I also respect the fact that Cloud's feeling himself, and Cloud's going to belly off that ult, because that's where you see those really powerful Alquang players who just will not let off, and that's how they get their leads so big.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Cloud T is definitely the kind of player who will go in off of something like that, and will continue to look to push and push and push and try to find something. You know, I don't think that death there at all has stopped him from wanting to put his foot down on the gas at all this game.
Yeah, hopefully we see it. We see the build from him as well being quite interesting, not opting to finish the Doom Orb, just looking for the T2. Still do get a good amount of move speed out of that, and since we've had the changes with the items as well, you could argue that it might be more efficient to just go with the tier 2.
Actually, while we're looking at builds as well, interestingly, a very early Heartwood coming out there for Weave, potentially to deal with Cloud T's damage, and I don't have a problem with that. I think that's a great way to go. You've got Nan, who provides a lot, and Cloud T, who provides a lot, so I'm a big fan of that, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. We see Angel pressuring so much just all around the map that Athena gives so much opportunity to just peel and be ever present anywhere you can go.
Oh, Dharmic Pillars come down on the dive there, looking for Fury, and beats are forced out as the dive continues on the House, able to dive into this tower and find the kill. A taunt would do it. Maybe it's enough. Angel is able to find the counter kill and gets a shutdown himself onto La House, but House was able to find an ADC. That's a huge pick up there. Cloud T's made a rotation over towards the solo lane looking for Moxie, but it's going to have to be a very big dive here, and Jack Martin just not in the position to do it. Very interesting trades off.
It's a great pick to see, but you'd love to see that go on top.
Nan taking a lot of damage, forced to use his beads there as Custom throughout that Apple of Discord. Forced to lose his beads as well, though. Off the back of a taunt into the Searing Pain. Knock up, though, from Weave is strong, and Customs is there to follow up on it. Nan falls, and the lead, ever slowly, is pushing further and further in Biogravity Finance's favour.
I'm surprised, honestly. I would expect to see a very large gap in mid between Nan and Customs, but this game, Customs is bringing it to Nan. Nan's died 4 times already, which is not very nice for Ra.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like the junglers are putting a lot of their pressure, especially Cloud T, putting a lot of his pressure onto the side lanes, and it means that Nan is very often alone Fury and trying to steal away that shield buff, surrounded by many people here. Angel will ult in and try to protect him. Weave, though, behind the tower is going to throw out those Dharmic Pillars once more, looking for Fury and knock up underneath the tower as well. It just requires a little bit more, and Fury will fall. Angel not able to keep his ADC alive there. Will be able to potentially trade out the support. The tower shot is enough, but again, House is just running it down, looking for carries in their towers, and it's working so well for him off the back of Weave's Dharmic Pillar plays.
Yeah, it's good to see. I think this is one of the best showings so far that we've seen from La House. We know he has the potential to pop off in games, so I hope we can see him continue it throughout this one.
Absolutely. I'm really enjoying this gameplay coming out from House, and the way that Weave has been playing as well in support. You know, this Athena, despite the fact that she can sort of, you know, rotate in for free anywhere on the map with that ultimate, you know, we saw, Juki!
Oh, that's clean.
Bounce! Angel
Solo
falls.
killed.
Soloed indeed. Really well played there by Juki, and with Angel down and the grouping from BGF around Gold Fury, this might be an opportunity here, although I'm going to opt to pick up a little bit more farm instead. Still not quite 10 minutes yet.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the smartest idea to stand on the corner of a tower at that much HP for Angel, but it's very nice from Juki to see that he's been playing his joust.
very aggressive play here from House and Weave looking for Cloud T. The silence, as we just saw, we were talking about how strong the matchup is from Ganesh into the Ao Kwang. It just meant that so much had to be burned there by Cloud T. Dummy Pillars did come down from Weave there, but I really like that they're just looking for these aggressive plays. And once again, it's Weave and House rotating over towards the duo lane, looking for Furin once more. Does have the horse available to get himself out of trouble here, so Furin might be able to find a way out. Dash, horse, Athena roll. Again, they're forced to use so many resources just for a few people walking over. We've seen that so many times this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind even seeing BGF looked for a gold here. They just expended some really nice ults. There is still the steal potential from the Ra, but I think it could be a good option.
Definitely the time to force a fight around this one at least. Furin though, still in lane and has a little bit of health over Juki right now. Cloud T in mid looking for customs, isn't going to be able to find too much damage as the Searing Pain won't connect there. The Apple of Discord will come out, won't connect with anybody. Bit of a wasted ult there, unfortunately for customs. He will be able to survive for now though. But Jack Martins, despite being down, they're not quite giving up their lead, not quite ready to give up this game and put the lead in favor of BGF. They want to show their pressure, they want to get around these beacons, around this Gold Fury.
Yeah, honestly, I just saw the ADC builds. If you have a full XE over at the time, tier 2 charge bow, I think they should really be looking to pull that objective.
Yeah, now that, seeing that now, absolutely, that Gold Fury, there was definitely an angle for that in. I'm not sure if the Suns were up at the time. If they were, I think that's definitely an opportunity for BGF to rip the Gold Fury there.
Yeah, could be a bit of a lack of experience in the ADC lane from Juki, knowing that he's not really played in that lane that much, but I feel like an experienced ADC player would be like, I have a power spike, I want to rip gold, let's go there right now. They have these ults down, like, maybe we see that in the future, but maybe not just this time.
Yeah, I think that you're right, that experience can play a big difference in a matchup like this, where you've got, Jack Martin in mid, forces beads out of customs there with that ultimate great rotation, while in the meantime, Moxie hasn't been able to rotate over to this one yet. Stygian Beacon going to go in favor of Jack Martin's there.
Yeah, we see the priority again from Jack Martin's being a lot higher for these beacons. Like, they seem to, each game, send 5 for this beacon, so...
Dash in from Angel, looking for a taunt. Not able to find customs off the back of that one, and means that the Searing Pain is only going to connect with Weave. Still a good bit of damage, but we knew that customs bees were down there off the back of the tier, so I like what Angel was looking for alongside Nan. Just unfortunate wasn't able to connect. Again though, House is putting pressure onto Furin. The Suns are down, the horse is out, and Furin's actually staying underneath his tower. I don't think he realizes how much damage is here. He stayed in the Suns for too long as well. House blink and picks up the kill. Again, House is putting so much pressure onto the duo lane.
I love that ego play from Juki, diving him, jumping him under tower. That's huge.
Yeah, just maybe a great distraction.
Maybe it does show some sort of experience there.
Yeah, we were talking about before how Furin had done basically the same thing, making an ego play to make it look like, or to force something out and make it look like his jungler's not around, and that's exactly what Juki did just there. Now though, Gold Fury pulled here by Gravity Finance, taken a lot of damage, but they've also trapped in Angel, who will fall there. The Dharmic Pillars and the Silence do so much work. Juki credited with that one. Gold Fury, though, has been dropped here by Gravity Finance, despite the fact that Searing Pain was used there by Nan.
Such dirty lockdown there. Like, you might even force this Athena to get beads if they're going to keep committing her like that, which is not really what you want to be doing.
Yeah, not a great position to be in. Unfortunately, Athena, despite being a very good god to dive in, has that dash and that taunt. Because her dash can be blocked, she really struggles to get out of bad positions, so you kind of need her in a big team fight position. You need to be confident when you're going in on that you will have the follow-up and it will work.
Yeah, with this game though, we've seen Clout slow down a little since taking his first fall. He's still been farming well, but Juki and La House now seem to be the most prominent players in this match, still pushing for more kills, pushing for more map advantage. So I hope that Clout can keep farming, yes, but also find a few more impact plays.
Yeah, I said before that when Cloud had taken the fall that he did after that very deep dive off the back of his ult, that it wasn't really going to dissuade him from continuing to make those hard plays, but it feels like he has stopped doing that now. And, House is running it down, looking for this Hachi man, looking for Furin constantly, and it's been working very well so far. Customs taking a bit of poke there.
Yeah, Furin being 0 and 4 is great for the enemy team. Gives them such an advantage when it comes to pulling objectives such as this.
Gold Fury started up, Angel dashes in, looks for the taunt, able to find one. Suns are down though. Too early is the secure, and Jack Martins are able to find that one. Furin picks up Juki as well in their house, in a little bit of trouble. The Apple of Discord is out onto 1, 2. Dharmic Pillars are down now. Cloud T in a lot of trouble inside of these Dharmic Pillars. We'll be able to find a way out of that one. Jack Martins steal away the Gold Fury, but it was very close 50-50.
Yeah, I think the He was tanking that, if I'm not mistaken.
That would do it.
Yeah, that's a bit rough.
I like the Gold Fury pull in general,
Yeah,
maybe just the execution was off a little bit.
And a great counter engage, like from the enemy team. Makes that very hard regardless of how good the pull is.
100%. And now Jack Martins are going to take the pressure that they earned off that to walk towards the Pyromancer. I don't think they realise how many members of BGF are in the area though. Weave, Moxie, House and Customs all here, going to try to engage onto Angel there. The taunt is good, keeps him alive for now. But now BGF have the position on this Pyromancer. Jack Martin ult into the backline, able to find House and Customs, forces the beads out of the Discordia immediately. The Athena ult coming out as well. Discordia ultimate has been fired off the Apple of Discord, not connecting with anybody. Moxie in the backline here of the Jack Martins. Big 3-man taunt there from Angel, followed up by the Searing Pain is good, but Angel will fall regardless. BGF pick up the Pyromancer.
That's very sad. That was a gigantic play, but just dies and loses the objective.
That's so right. It was really big. Maybe just Nan's not able to pump out enough damage right now, or it's hard to say. As Cloud T diving this T2 tower, he's looking to make these big plays, but Moxie and House are here, and the trade-off is there. Moxie picks up Cloud T.
Awesome. But we haven't seen too much from Moxie so far this game, but he's been keeping up in farm. That's all he needs to do. If he can keep up in farm and make plays like that, catching the enemy lacking,
I like
he's
that.
doing fine.
You know, we've seen Cloud T and Jack Martin as well have been throughout this set constantly looking for Moxie underneath his towers, constantly diving him and trying to make big plays. And so this time Moxie was prepared for it. House was nearby, and they kind of took advantage of Cloud T's tendency to dive deep there and managed to pick up a kill.
Yeah. I wonder where the pressure is going to continue from BGF, because they seem to have a decent position on the map, having that one tower gone, but it also kind of relieves Furin a little bit because it's a bit harder for the house to dive in. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like there's too many ward in that side of the map regardless. So maybe there's still a chance, but yeah, who knows.
By the looks of it, I would say that, you know, we've seen Nan take a few falls, a few spills here. He's still even level with custom, so it might be an opportunity to start looking for this Ra and to keep him down a little bit. We've seen that Jack Martins have taken the mid T1 tower, which gives a lot of pressure over to them here, and they're currently applying that. So maybe a bit of pressure onto Nam, try to force him down, try to get this T1 tower trade-off would be a really good idea for House here.
Yeah, it seems like Furin's rotating for this beacon now. Cloud's coming. Moxie's actually going to be there before.
Aggressive play from House, link on and finds Furin there. The ultimate out, and Angel in so much trouble inside of this Dharmic Pillar's house, able to find that one. Now the beacon definitely in favor here of Gravity Finance. Just not enough members here for the Jack Martins, and Angel so hard to survive on this Athena. Ultimate in from Jack Martin, not able to find anyone. The Searing Pain can't connect either. The Suns are down, but it seems that the Jack Martins actually have a better position on this one right now, have recapturing this beacon. BGF though not done with it, are going to walk back in and look for a little bit of Poe. Jack Martin has to dash out of this one, and Moxie frontlining very strong plays here into Nan and Furin. Bit of an awkward position with Customs being so low. He's so close to just being taken off the map, and Jack Martins, I think, are going to get this beacon as well. Yeah,
that's kind of interesting, to be honest. They were second to that, but just managed to find the damage to push them off. I think we've seen Angel looking maybe a little bit too eagerly for those taunts to get followed up by the Ra, but finding themselves caught out. As you said before, Athena's not too good at getting out of those positions if you find yourself too deep. So I hope that doesn't keep happening, because Athena constantly getting picked might become an issue.
This time, Gold Fury started up and taken down by Jack Martins, but again, this Athena struggling so much to get out. Finally able to drop an ultimate to find her way out of that position inside of those Dharmic Pillars. Will be able to survive. And look at this gold swing now, 1,600 gold in favor of the Jack Martins here, despite a 7-kill differential against them here. BGF though, they're not done. They know how many resources Jack Martins used for that Gold Fury. They're going to push it to the mid T1 tower and take this one off the map.
Yeah, it should be a pretty easy siege there. I like the positioning from House being so deep, but I'm not too sure if he can take a trade from Cloud. So the positioning is good, but you just got to make sure you don't get caught out.
Right now as well, Clouty is starting to take back a little bit of this lead. He's been farming for quite a while, so he's actually ahead of House. And if Clout is able to get a kill onto House right now, that's going to change this game quite a bit, I think. And it's just going to give Clout the confidence and the position that he needs to be in to hyper carry from here. So, yeah, I don't want to see House take a 1v1 right now unless he's guaranteed to win it.
That's a good point. We see that BGF are rotating, putting their Huyi in this right lane, trying to get some map pressure, but oh, it looks like their team's just picking up this. Because I was going to say it might be a little bit silly to give up that.
Yeah. Pyromancer has been locked in there by the Jack Martins and starting to push their lead a little bit further, looking for Customs now, but a great bit of play there from Customs. Will keep him alive for a little bit longer. Nan able to find that one, so much CC. Going into this Discordia and Furin diving the backline. He's able to find Moxie there as well, but it's going to be House surrounded, able to jump over that wall with the ultimate. Clouty trying to chase this one down, has the execute available, but body blocked by minions there, actually not able to find it. And now he's trapped here as well, and locked in by Juki, throws out the ultimate to try to keep himself alive, but Juki finds the kill. In the meantime though, he was zoning for his team that deep, while the rest of them have picked up this Fire Giant. Do they have enough damage, or are BGF going to realize this one? They're starting to walk over to it.
That's an insane 6-head play right there if Clout was just baiting himself. Oh no, they're leashing.
Oh, they're off it.
Psych.
Yikes. Jack Martin now in a little bit of trouble as well.
In that position, they have the heal from the Ra, they have the best secure on the map from the Ra.
Yep.
I think if they're going to make that play, they can rip it, they can do it.
Yeah, if you're going to make that play, I think commit to that play, you're right, as we're going to see House now is able to rotate in behind, looking for Nan there, the route is good, and no one's there to protect Nan. Will fall first, as Furin's able to pick up that one, but Juki knocks Nan off the map, and now the play is on from House, looking for Furin. The auto attacks are good, though, and Angel has finally come back to his team, able to pick up that kill there. Juki, though, picks up the double, and the fight continues on. Juki is deep in the back line here, looking. Angel and Jack Martin, they don't have the damage to kill him. Maybe it'll be enough. Yes, Jack Martin trades it off, but the route is good here from Customs. Jack Martin might just barely live, but another big brawl there with a lot of members lost from both teams.
Yeah, what is that fight? Like, that's such a weird fight. I know that fire's up, but I feel like you could be getting vision, you could be positioning for a pick. Instead, they're just like randomly using all of their relics and cooldowns and dying. I think there's more productive shit they can
Yeah.
do.
A lot expended there from both teams for really nothing at all. You're absolutely right that without those objectives really being available, you know, we did see Jack Martins try to pick up that Fire Giant, but without a real opportunity at it there, using up all of those resources is definitely a big risk coming into this next area of the game.
Oh no, they're just stacking Nan's Karen's coin, don't worry.
Oh, that's fine then. Absolutely
Yeah,
fine. Well, we're going into pretty much an even game state here. A bit of a lead for Jack Martins. About 2k in their favor as we are again grouping around this mid area and potentially looking for a Fire Giant. Definitely a hard position for for both teams to be in. Angel has found his way back into this game, level 16 even with Weave at the moment, but the amount of signs that we've seen that he just is able to dive in, find a good taunt, but he still falls because of just the amount of body blocks and traps and CC that BGF put out is really making it hard to play this Athena right now.
For sure. I think though, like, Angel kind of still has to do what they're doing, because like that's the way that their team's going to find those beads, allow Cloud to do what he wants to do, give Nan the setup. I think he has to keep doing it. If he's going to keep dying, that might just be a cost to expend.
Oh, big brawl in mid here as Dummy Pillar's been dropped and Nan is the target. He's going to fall. Angel unable to keep his mid laner alive. A great little pick there for BGF, and they might even be looking for more. Angel down to half health. Sundered dashes out, but might not be able to find a position here. Moxie's made the rotation. House is going to ult in him in a big 3-man taunt, but it's not enough. It's Customed. Picks up that kill. That's a 2-0 trade there for BGF right around this Fire Giant as well. They might try to start this one up.
Yeah, I'd love to see them pick this up. They don't have a whole lot of really deep vision, which is, I think, something so useful. It helps with these rotations, such as what Jack Martin's making.
Here he is, Jack Martin into the backline with that ultimate Fire Giant. 5 members strong right now inside of it for BGF, but it's still a bit of a risk here as Furin and Clouty have made their way in. Moxie, though, picks up Jack Martin. Fire Giant is going to go down, though. Jack Martins are able to steal it away. Furin down. Clouty able to pick up Customs, though. Jack Martins pick up the Fire Giant, but they are decided for it. Nobody on their team has it on them now.
It's a very, very nice play just to distract the backline. Tier's so good at that. He does fall, but they get the objective, so it's a win. I don't know. It's
It's definitely a hard position to be in now for the Jack Martins. They've got enough members up to be able to defend here, maybe even keep this T2 tower alive. Moxie very deep in here. Unfortunately, the Ra of Searing Pain not going to connect. In the meantime, Juki pushing down this right side T2 tower will be able to knock that one off too. So despite the fact that Fire Giant went in favor of Jack Martins there, they prevented BGF from getting a big lead off of it. They are not in a winning position here. They've lost a lot of map pressure, and it might be, you know, the fact that BGF were able to start that Fire Giant in the first place is really speaking to the position that this game is going in right now.
Yeah, this is close, man. Like, I'm actually very impressed with BGF. I thought this would be a lot more one-sided, honestly. But the subs for BGF are just performing very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Customs is holding his own. Um, the house has kind of taken his foot off the pedal a little bit, but he's been having a great game. So yeah, I'm actually very impressed with BGF.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic set so far. I think, you know, we've talked about it a few times that a lot of subs coming through, Angel, the new support here for Jack Martins as well. So obviously a lot of people still getting used to each other on these teams. Nan might be in a little bit of trouble here. Angel's in the area to keep him alive, but House is just always hunting for Nan right now.
Yeah, I wonder what happens, who gets kicked if they lose though, so.
No comment.
I think there's not a whole lot. Or does one? Does anybody still have fire? Not a whole lot for them to do, unless they want to try and slow siege some of these towers. So maybe
we do have the Titans walking down now.
Oh yeah, true.
So this might be an opportunity, and it looks like BGF actually want to play with their Titan, play quite aggressively, using their Titan. I can't actually say, oh, they're in mid, cool. I couldn't see them on the map.
I haven't really seen too many 5v5 teamfights with Titans yet, so I'm kind of interested. Ooh,
big commit here onto Customs. He's actually still alive here as the Diamond Pillars come down. Jack Martin looking for Moxie, able to pick up Cloud T in the backline there. Jack Martin still looking for Customs, but he's not able to find it at the moment. In the meantime, in mid, it's a big brawl going on. Customs is still alive. Jack Martin still hasn't found it, and House has found Furin in the meantime. The fight continues on as Customs has found Jack Martin in that big dive that he was going for. Customs actually managed to live through all of that engage. Angel has to ult his way out of that one, and there's a big fight for BGF with their Titan. They might even push mid.
Yeah, for sure. They can easily push. I wonder if this Guan Yu, like, could we have a look at the healing numbers? Because I wonder if this Guan Yu is having a big impact. Because it seems like they seem to just survive the fight a little bit more. Like,
just pretty even. Oh, huge Searing Pain out from Nan there, able to pick up Customs underneath the Phoenix, but the Titan is walking in. Nan trying to pick up one more kill before he falls here onto House, but the Phoenix is gone. The Titan is walking into the Titan room, and it might just be BGF that are going to walk in with a Titan themselves to take the game. Number 3 here. 27 minutes, BGF are in the Titan room. The Order Titan and Chaos Titan are brawling to try to end this game. Cloud T is up, but BGF are strong, and the Titan falls. BGF take the game.
What the hell?
I'm a huge fan of that.
I love that happening.
Titan.
That spiraled really quick there at the end.
Yeah. And that last team fight was just, you know, Jack Martin was chasing so deep, looking for a 1 health Customs. Couldn't find it. Customs just survived for so long, and in the meantime, House just popped off in the rest of the fight.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's honestly crazy. Very well done from BGF.
Biogravity Finance continually throughout this whole thing, from relegations into this point now against Jack Martins, they have just shown up to these games, and they've shown that despite being potentially the underdogs, the team that, you know, potentially people think might not be winning these games, they continue to take sets off of, you know, strong OCE teams.
It's true. They can now be considered in that question of who is a strong team in the league, because I know that Jack Martins consider themselves as a strong team, and they're widely like accepted as a strong team, but they are having sets taken off them. So yeah, I'm very proud of the boys on BGF for having such a good performance.
Excellent game there from Biogravity. Able to take that victory over Jack Martins. Wow. Wow is all I can say. Really good set. Very enjoyable to watch.
I wish we have. Do we have the graphics? the win graphics?
We might. I don't think we've got them ready at the moment though.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunate. All right. Well, that gives us our Biogravity Finance versus Jack Martin set. Of course, we were partway through watching Threats versus It's a Wonderful Day for Pi. We were 1-0 up for It's a Wonderful Day for Pi when the replay stopped working for us. So we might see if we can finish off our second game there for Pi versus Threats. We're going to take a very short break, see what we can do, and we'll give you all an update, hopefully very shortly.